and hit it. Oh, you got to throw it up.
Oh shit! Okay.
You forgot to throw it on the screen. I wonder what was going on there.
Who will be her lover? While your life you've never seen a woman taken by the wind.
That is Fleetwood music. Okay.
She promised you heaven. Will you ever win? She is like a cat in the dark, and then she is the darkness. She was alive like a fine skylark, and when the sky is starless. By your life, you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? Will you ever win?
Hello, Heidi.
We're still going strong. Hey, Heidi.
She rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her? She rules her life like a bird in flight, and who will be her lover? While your life you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? Will you ever win? Taken by the sky. Taken by the sky. Taken by the sky. Dreams unwind, love state of mind. Dreams unwind, love's a state of mind. Dreams unwind, love's a state of mind.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
I think you're muted still.
Oh, there we go. Now y'all
There
can
he
actually hear
is.
what's going on.
Hello.
You know, I was thinking I need to do some like kind of evil voice, like something maybe a little subtler, maybe a little longer. I don't know. We'll have to work on it. There's several evil voices I could use. It just kind of feels like it needs one of those. Yeah. Well, we're only a month and what? 3 weeks, month and 2 weeks, month and 3 weeks to Halloween. Yes, to Halloween. This whole network goes insane for Halloween. Don't even ask. The whole network goes insane. It's like, yes, they're just deranged.
I mean, when else is it proper etiquette to knock on a stranger's door and beg for candy? No other time. Right? No
Can
other
I
time.
have candy, Mr. Man? I don't know. Can you give me some candy? See, there's just something wrong with that. Oh, no, we were little shits when we were kids. We figured out a couple ways to get candy pretty good. And then we moved.
Oh, we did double and triple rounds. We had costumes that were slightly modular. So, like, you had to go around, like, the first time with your face bared out, pretty much, so they know who you were. And the second time, you go wearing almost the same costume, but you put on a mask or you paint your face. And then the third time, you either take something off of that costume or put something on just to change that costume again a little bit. You're different. But as long as they don't see your face on two of them, we went around 2 times most of the time and got double the amount.
Yeah, my dad moved. We got I remember when he got lucky and got some money, started building some houses. I remember we moved to a different neighborhood. Shit, man. So I could go to 8 houses on one block, get more candy than I could, but I go into my whole other neighborhood for like an hour.
We had exactly in my neighborhood, and my neighborhood was like pretty much of a squared off circle, if you will. But where there are 101 houses exactly, and if we did just those 101 houses, if you did it twice, that's 204 pieces of candy. Even if they only gave you one, and most of the time it was a handful. That's
what I like too. I used to do that with my son. We would live in the condo in Fat City, and I wasn't going to take my son trick or treating in Fat City, so I took him to a really wealthy neighborhood up against the lake right there, not far from where we live, right behind us actually. So I let him go trick or treating there. He's cute, man. He was cleaner, and they give him a Hershey, and not little Hershey bars, big Hershey bars, big things. Reese's cup. I'm like, what the hell kind of? And I've lived in some rich neighborhoods. They didn't give me. I mean, they'd always give you a bunch of the little ones, but not the big ones. I was tripping out.
The minis, not the big one, or the normal size.
So that's where he trick or treated for like the next 5 years until we moved up to the coast. That's where he was. He had a ball, man. Each year he'd do some kind of. He always liked those damn Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
So maybe Ninja Turtle me in a house with the nunchucks. I remember he had them little black nunchucks that came when he's all nunchucking up when mine was sitting out. Matter of fact, I had a black pair that were weighted inside on swivel chains. And he picked them up and he went to go. I was like, dude, he cold cocked the living crap out of himself, not 2 seconds into it. I'm like, what do you think he was going to do? Yeah, but I said, no. These are not like them things you got. Them things you got are plastic and they're way lighter and you can swing them. I said, you can't even swing these things. These things are too big for you. I said, you get to swinging them, you're going to knock yourself out cold. But I remember I had a little pair of practice ones. They were plastic with a padding on the outside of them. They were short ones, too. Yeah, they were short ones. They were for that enclosed shit. That's what they were designed to teach you. But it's, I gave him, he was ninja all kind of shit up, knocking Coke bottles off and stuff. I'm like, look at this little destructive shit. It's I mean, what are you gonna do? No, when he pissed me off, my son, oh no, I'd throw shit at him. Now remember this, I used to play darts for a living, so I'm a really good aim, but I'd always miss his head by about that much. He's like, Dad, I'm like, that was a remote control. I said, if I'd have broke that remote in your head, you'd have been in trouble, boy. He's like, Dad. No, I wasn't playing that bullshit. Kids should have respect for their parents. If they don't, I don't know. And then you give them away to somebody. Is that what you're saying? No, that's not what you do. No, I love
No,
that.
I couldn't find my heaviest pair, but I have a. Allegedly, the guy told me when I first bought them at a trophy shop in Gaithersburg. He told me they were Cocobolo wood, which, in my opinion, back then it was the strongest, hardest wood, which it is not. By the way, I found out way later on. But these nunchucks are so hard, I could drive a nail with them, and no mark was left on the wood. So I come to find out they're actually Indian ebony, because there's a chip, and underneath the chip it's solid black wood. So I just thought they were black painted Cocobolo. They're not. It's ebony is one of like the hardest. Ebony is also the one that they use for the keys on your keyboard. That's how hard this wood is. It polishes to a sheen. It looks like plastic, but it's wood. But anyway, they weigh each stick weighs 2 pounds, so it's a 4-pound set of weights really that I swing around. But you can literally take a nail, go up to the wall, and drive a full size like 9-penny nail. I don't know if you can drive it into. I mean, this is like into drywall, okay, but like into a stud. I don't know if it'll hurt it or bend the nail, but imagine that coming 90 miles an hour and hitting you on the side of the head.
No, you done killed somebody. Yeah, no,
something as
that's
heavy
the
as a
thing.
hammer. Hammers weigh 20 ounces, and it's all metal. 20 ounces. That's 1 pound.
Yeah.
Those sticks weigh 2 pounds.
Yeah.
It's almost double.
That's if you
what
got a decent
regular
hammer. You get the stupid framing hammers, only 16 ounces. Damn.
Yeah,
things.
this thing is more than double.
I like that. They had the 24 ounces. That was my favorite. It was who made it? It had the yellow handle. It was
DeWalt makes a 24 ounce roofing hammer.
It was a framing hammer, is what it was. I love this hammer.
Yeah, framing hammer. Yeah, they make that. Yeah,
it had a nice steel neck going on. It was really nice hammer. I probably got one.
It's if the one I'm thinking of, it's got a really sweat back nail puller on the back.
I had one of them, whatchamacallit, Fat Maxes, Black Maxes, whatever they were.
That's DeWalt, yeah.
And I was working a job site one afternoon, and it was wood all the way up to the top, and I got mad, and I swung that big heavy bastard, and I broke it at the neck. The guys that were with me were like, son of a bitch. I hit it. When I hit it, the damn 2x4 shattered, the damn freaking hammer broke. It was a little small area, like a bathroom we were taking out, because I was pissed.
You get a free repeater for that?
I never asked, man. I just went and bought another. You know what? I should have too, because I probably would have got a free one, because they're usually pretty good about that kind of stuff. And
that's the one thing I like.
Because it was a defect of some kind. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was hitting it hard.
Metals can do that, yeah, and that can happen during manufacturing. It can be just a natural thing of the metal, but most of the tools in the Husky line, the hand tools like sockets and socket wrench handles and wrenches, it's a free repeater. It's if for any reason breaks on you or breaks while you're using it. Yeah. I mean, if you intentionally try to break it, you're not going to get your money back and they find out about it. But I had several. I had one that I actually ran over with the forklift. It was a electrical plier that the head swiveled. One side was a cutting like a diagonal cutters, and then you flip the other side. It has the wire strippers on it. And it fell out of my pocket, and I was on the forklift at work, and I ran over it. I was like, "Oh crap!" So I went up to the shelf where we have the new ones, took it off the shelf. I walked up to our customer. I had to take my apron off because you're not supposed to do exchanges with your apron on. But I was still on the clock. I needed this. I used this tool at work. I was in the electrical department, so I took my apron off. I went up to this lady at the service desk, and I was like, "Look what happened." She's like, "Oh, free repeat." I'm like, "Please, 5 seconds, brand new tool." It is one of the most convenient, coolest things ever. And people are like, "Oh, but they're made in China." Yes, but they are not inexpensive. They're not expensive. They're in the middle. And if they break, you get a free repeater. How is that a bad thing? We are making our economy stronger by the store that sells that makes money, and the people in China who make it for that store are making money.
Yeah,
So
there's-
both
there's a couple
countries are making
companies
good.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
was it? There's what 4 or 5 companies that you get a freebie if you destroy it, or if it rusts. Matter of fact,
so
it was Craftsman. If it rusts, they'll give
Craftsman
you
to a
that.
degree, they've really reduced it. Craftsman to a degree, but the ones that are always free right now is Husky at Home Depot, Cobalt at Lowe's. I'm pretty sure Tractor Supply has their own home brand of tool, and I'll bet you that also is a free repeater. And then True Value has their own brand that does that, and I don't know what it's called.
Man, I
But
ain't
here's the
never
thing:
seen
here's the thing that
values
most
left.
people won't realize. All of those tools are very most likely made in China in only one of 2 factories, and the ones that are made for Lowe's and Home Depot, one factory. They use the same exact factory. The only difference is the color of plastic they put on the outside of it. So the Home Depot brand ones are black and silver, black and white for the Husky. And then for Cobalt, they're blue and white. The store brand's colors, blue, white, and red.
What can you do, people? Not anymore, though. That's just gonna be made at the U.S. pretty soon.
Yeah, it may be unless until
No, that's one of the
realizes that-
contracts coming back. That's one of them.
Well,
We're going back to making our own tools because there's only Craftsman's the only one right now that can say USA on it.
there's a few others. I think Crescent
See, I thought True
Crescent
Value
Wrench.
was, but
Crescent Wrench is made in America. I'm pretty sure the Crescent brand.
it's I don't know, people. It's just one of them things. We just got off track. Sorry.
Well, it's the
Okay.
chat. Well, there's no set format.
Yeah.
We can talk about anything. And Joe and I happen to be experts in the home improvement center.
Yes, we
area.
just talking
So,
about
I know
freebies.
if
And
you don't like
actually,
the
for
kind
the
of
people
advice-
out there who buy this stuff, you can get freebies. I'll tell you another little secret though. If you're just a home buyer, you just want to go buy like a saw or something, spend the extra $20, get the pro one because they're guaranteed for life.
Yeah.
The other one is guaranteed, I don't know, 1 to 5 years, depending on
Well,
what brand it is.
Husky hand saws are guaranteed for life.
It's
And they
no, I'm
run
talking about
anywhere
skill
from-
saws and stuff like that. There's a couple of them that you
Oh,
can
like
get.
the electro. Okay, yeah. Well, most of your I can tell you for the fact most of the battery operated cordless ones and the corded ones they're going to have limited warranties. You're better off with the best part of that. The warranty is on the battery. Most of those batteries will last you 3 to 6 years. And most of the warranties, the lowest warranty is 2 years for those lithium ion batteries. So when you do go to the store at the register, don't be an idiot. Buy the extra, warranty from the store because that gives you an extra 4 to 6 years for that battery. So that battery can turn into 2 batteries for 12 years instead of 1 battery that lasts you 6.
Yeah, they
and they're expensive. They're like $20
but
a
just
pop at the lowest level.
go with the good tool that goes
Yeah.
with it. So like some of DeWalt stuff, so even some of True Value, some of Black and Decker stuff has
Well,
lifetime
there's
warranties
some
on it.
cheapy ones out there. There's Lowe's has a couple of like really weird off-brand battery operated hand tools. And if you look at the color of them, they're probably I think they're just Ryobi is trying to get their stuff into Lowe's without violating their exclusive contract with Home Depot. That's how I think what they're trying to do is some of these. It's like Chevrolet has, or GM rather, General Motors has 15 different brands of cars. The same idea as I think is what's happening here, but there's a lot more just weird named. If you go to some of the weird off-brand hardware stores, you'll see them. Harbor Freight, Tractor Supply.
Yeah, Harbor Freight's got their own. They used to be pretty crappy in the beginning. They got better.
They have some
They're
pretty
still
neat
pretty
stuff.
crappy, but
I got
they've
sort of
got
a Dremel tool from them with 80 attachments for like $10. It was $9.99.
Oh yeah,
The
no,
problem
they've
is it
got
wasn't-
lots of good deals, and some of this stuff is good, some of it's not. It's 50-50. When you're going to buy stuff from them, you never know how long it's going to last. It may last forever. It may last a couple of weeks. It's just weird when you buy tools from them.
Yes.
No, because see, like my Black and Decker stuff, as long as it's the Pro Series, it's guaranteed for life. It's some of my Milwaukee is guaranteed for life.
I will speak out about Black & Decker. Back in the 70s and 80s, their stuff was good. They made good quality stuff, and their stuff was
Well, they tell you
good
themselves,
warranty.
if you want the good one, go with the Pro Series, because their other one is called.
Well, true,
They
but
tell you, they're honest with you. They say no, it's just for little stuff
I'm
around
talking
your house.
their general line stuff, even 40, 50 years ago in the 70s, was really good stuff. And now the cheap stuff they have on the shelves was cheap stuff. People
That's-
kept
that's
coming
exactly
wanting into
what it
buying
is.
it. And I was like, no, just go. Trust me, put up another $10 and you'll like this one a little bit better, because I have accessories in the store for this. If anything on yours, like if your pruner loses, you lose the pruner blades, or you want to replace it, you'll have to get them online. But this brand I have here, if you lose the pruner blades or you want an extra pair of pruner blades, I have them right here all the time. And people would buy them because of that fact that the accessories and replacement parts are available. That's one of the drawbacks that you find, at least with the Black & Decker line. They don't have the presence they did 50 years ago. They just
No,
their quality went down very bad on their low stuff, and they lost reputation.
Well, they got hooked up with Sears and Walmart and stuff.
Yes. That's part of it, I guess.
That didn't help them, but they're still out there doing their thing.
Well, they may have joined up with those companies, Walmart and the cheap stores, because they were in decline. They were heading towards bankruptcy anyway.
No, I'm pretty sure Black & Decker was with Walmart from day one. At least if I remember right, they had always been there.
Maybe when Walmart started, but Black & Decker was around way before Walmart.
Oh yeah, they were always.
Oh,
in,
they were in Sears. They were in.
Decker, you found it in
were
the
in True
local
Value.
hardware stores. They still sell it in the
exactly
local hardware
right.
stores. When you ask them about it at a hardware store, they'll tell you don't get the cheap brand, because that's just for something you're not going to use all the time. You might use it every once, twice a year around your house. Something you're not going to work the hell out of. Because I sent some guys out one day. I sent them to get 5 saws, and they came back with 5 saws, and man, we burned them up in a day. And I brought the guy back. He said, "Well, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, we're working on a job." And he's like, "Oh no, we can't. No, you can't use these on jobs. This is for around your house." So they wouldn't honor the warranty on the effing things.
Yeah.
And but then I made such a big fit, they went ahead and gave me new tools. I said, "Look, I'll make you a deal." I said, "I'll buy the difference on whatever the more expensive brand is. So you give me my money back and you put it against more expensive, and I'll pay the difference." Because I needed the saws. I just needed them.
I'll tell you a couple of horror stories from the garden center at the Home Depot. When I first started there, we had this guy every year for 3 years while I was there. He bought a mid-range Cub Cadet zero-turn tractor. If you don't know what zero-turn is, it drives kind of like a tank. So, and it can do circles. They call it zero-turn because it can just sit there and spin on its own axis like a planet. And they're good for very large swaths of land. Well, this guy bought one every summer, used it for like the 30 days, and brought it back. Then a month later, he'd buy it again and then bring it back and return it. He did this for 3 years. And finally, the third year, and I missed it. I wish I had been there that day. But here he comes in to return it, and the second manager goes, "I'm sorry, sir, we're not a rental agency. We no longer can accept your return. Enjoy your Cub Cadet," and turned him away. So that's pretty a cool thing. But the horror stories, I've had people come in and they're like, "I want to do this with my, so-and-so weed whacker or my so-and-so chainsaw." And I'm like, "Well, you don't want this cheap brand. You want the Echo brand." And like, "Well, it's $300. I'm like, "Yeah, but I guarantee you this, it'll last you 30 years. And I have replacement parts for it, like string and, spindles and all the stuff that breaks on these kind of outdoor tools. Boom, they're available." And they're like, "Well, I don't know." I'm like, "Look, I guarantee you this much. If you don't buy it and you buy that, you'll be back here in a month and you'll have to double up your price on. So you're going to be buying that and it's going to break on you. And then you're going to come back and you're going to be mad at me because you didn't buy this first." Almost everybody who did it, I'd like to get a survey. I've been there 9 years. How many customers I actually would come back and say, "Hey, you saved me money." No one ever did, but I'd like to go and survey everyone that helped in that way. Because Joe's right. If you get the wrong tool for the wrong job, it's going to last you. If you're lucky, it'll last you that whole job.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. If
That's
it's only
like,
a one
hey,
off,
you know,
if
a
you're
friend
only
of
going to
mine-
use it the one damn time, yeah, buy the cheapest one. And if it breaks, big deal, because you planned on never using it again in the first place. But if you plan on having a tool, let's say a drill, just because you bought a new home and you want to drill so you can drill holes to put in, your artwork, you hang up your pictures and paintings. Well, don't go for the cheap one. Go up another step.
No.
Like if you find a brand you like, and I always tell people this, they're like, "What's the best brand of?" And name a tool: lawnmower, drill, hammer. And I tell them this: well, what's your favorite color? Pick that in the plastic and go home with it. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. Of these 4 or 5 brands, because they're all made in. Guess what, people? 3 or maybe 4 factories around the planet. That's it. Almost all the hand tools for North America are only built in 3 or 4 places on the earth.
Yes, don't worry, people.
All it is a different motor with a different cover and a wrapping on it every time, whether it says Toro or Black & Decker or Yard Boy, whatever the name brand is. It's almost virtually identical to the really expensive one down the road, but at a much more affordable price with a better warranty.
Yeah, it's crazy, people. Anyway, oh look, it's Aaliyah. So I was thinking.
Oh,
we were talking about tools. So this guy, we were working in a house up in the city, and we were just doing our things, and I had one of the meters sitting on the top of my toolbox. I was kind of curious what kind of fields were in the house, because it's an old house, is there any kind of lead or anything in the house? So it's just sitting there, and we're talking, we're doing our stuff, and we're cleaning off the edge of these wooden floors we were getting ready to refinish. We're getting them all edged out and pretty, getting all the staples and nails and filling little holes and shit like that. But anyway, we were doing that, and you started hearing chirp, 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 chirp. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, no kidding.
I turn around, the damn little meter's flashing yellow. I'm like, why is the meter flashing? Then it starts flashing red, then it jumps over to green. I'm like, what the hell? Because it's picking up electromagnetic field. And I'm like, what the hell is this thing picking up? And because it had just been sitting there, and it didn't start doing anything until we started banging and yakking, and just said, well, maybe some dust we threw up in the air has some kind of magnetic trace in it or something. So we let it settle down. So it settled down. It quit doing it. So we go back to banging up, tearing up shit, and it goes back to doing it. I'm like, what the hell? So I said, you know what? I gave it to one of the guys. I said, take the damn thing down. So I said, bring the mask up just to be on the safe side. Take this thing downstairs. So we all put on masks. We go back to banging, and the damn thing gets to just chirping its ass off downstairs. My partner brings it. He said, look at this thing, Joe. It's just like, it's going insane. What the hell is this? And so I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone. He said, Joe, that's what we use for a PK meter in the paranormal world. He said, you got a ghost.
Really?
I'm like, dude, I said, first off, I doubt that seriously.
What was it?
It was one of those electrometer thingies that you use to check
a level.
And so he's like, no, that's what we use. He said, we just call them something different. He said, even though that's what they really are, they're just checking for magnetic fields. I'm like, okay. He said electromagnetic fields. I'm like, okay. So he said, can I come out? I'm like, so you're gonna bring a team to this house? He said, come on. I said, dude, this is a customer's house. I said, I can't just let you up in here with, He said, I'll bring just 3 guys. I said, I told him, you said, you better come fucking dressed in normal clothes and jeans and a t-shirt. Don't come
No. You should have told him to come dressed in like, tool belts and hammers.
I told him, no, that was fine. Because they, as far as I knew, they were just friends of mine looking at buying a house or something. So they're walking around. Every night you'd see one of them pull out the meter and they'd go to chirping around. So come lunchtime, I sent all the guys out the house. I said, y'all go get something to eat. I said, I want to talk to these guys. And they're like, who are these? I said, just some partners of mine, we're looking at properties. So get out. So I ran over there. I said, now what are you doing? He said, Joe, this house got ghosts in it. He said, no, really, dude, this house. He said, can we talk to the owners? I said, you fucking stupid. Can you talk to the owners? I said, you cannot talk to the owners. And this house is a hand-me-down house. So it's been in the family a long time. It's from St. Charles. So anyway, I ran their asses out of there. And I said, send me whatever you think's going on. And I said, I'll talk to you about it later. So about a week goes by. The old ladies that live in the house, she's in the house. She goes, oh, man, these floors are looking so fabulous. She said, I was here when I was a kid, and these floors were beautiful. And you said, you really got, I said, I really appreciate it. And she said, I bet you my Aunt Webb probably really enjoying it. She just said she likes to cackle and dance in these rooms. I said, every night you'll hear it at night, she'll go past something, some dust will shoot up in the air, or you'll hear some kind of weird noises. That's my aunt. He said that she was talking about 3 different people who died in the house still lived in the house. And he go, I said, really? And I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I had a meter going off the other day. Nobody could figure out what it was. And she said, oh, it's one of them ghost meters. I said, well, no, it's what they use as a ghost meter. I said, well, we use it for something else. And she's like, it was going crazy, wasn't it? I'm like, yeah. She said, yeah, we got ghosts. I was like, Jesus Christ, what did I get myself into? So then I called my pod up. I said, look, Johnny, I said, she said she got ghosts. He's like, what? She said that. And I'm like, yeah. I said, and I asked her, would you talk to you? And she said, yeah. I was like, I said, if you cost me this, I said, this is a very expensive job. So if you cost me this job, I said, I will feed you to the fucking alligators. I said, we're talking several hundred G's here. I said, so just know what's going on. So I get him. I stayed because I had to see what was going on. I get them together. They start talking. They're going back. He said, "Oh yeah," and we found her in this room and that room, and we found energy in here and there, and they're just going back and forth. I'm like, Jesus, look at these people. Hey, Sean, they're just running back and forth with this meters, and then she said, she said, this is my aunt, whatever's name's room, and and each room she'd name something. There was something when the meters were going off. Sometimes all of them were going off. It was very creepy. So then she said, Aunt Wilma, I'm going to put everybody's name on the bottom of these meters. And when we call your name, you make this meter go off. So they called her name, that meter went off. They called the other one, the other meter went off. They called the other one, the other meter went off. And I'm like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Whoa.
And this went on for a while. And they started asking questions and getting answered. And then she goes, whatever, the old lady goes, you really like the house. Mr. Joe does a good work. Then they're like, yeah, Mr. Joe does good work. She said, they really like you, Joe. I'm like, tell them I have no plans on crossing over anytime soon. They're going to have to wait for me to remodel their ghostly house for a little while yet. And, it was very creepy, very weird. But the woman kicked in an extra 150 G's on the job.
Wow.
Because we actually believed her. And don't get me wrong, I was making good on that job. I ain't going to lie. But so then I called my pod up. I said, look, I said, I got a present for you. I said, come by my house. He's like, well, I said, no, just come by my house. I got a present for you. I said, I got a check for you. He said, a check? I said, yeah, let me give you some money. I said, I know you're hurting right now. I said, you and your boys can go out and have dinner on me. So I get there, hand him the check. He says, man, $500. That's really cool of you. I said, $500? I said, what check do you have? He said, oh, was that too much? I said, I started laughing. I said, no, you better look at that check again. He looks at it. It was for 50 G's is what it was for. Yeah, and wow. he was like, you fucking kidding me, right? I said, no, it's yours.
Wow. Hey, John,
but I just said, you know what?
I have a question.
Sometimes I'm poor, sometimes I'm not. No, Gene, I'm poor these days. Oh, yes.
Your realtors down there, do they have to tell the people buying the house that the house is haunted?
Some places they do, some places they don't. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
It's a national law, though. I mean, I don't know necessarily about the paranormal activity, but if someone died in the house, like in the example you just used, Joe, they do have to explain if there's been any major events to the house. It's deaths in the house, fires, earthquake damage.
Yeah, see, Louisiana had this thing
that kind of stuff they have to reveal. Yeah,
Louisiana had something about this thing. If they've died in the last 30 years or something, you have to reveal it. But if it's any longer back than that, you don't. Well, that's where the ghosties are coming from 200, 300, 400 years ago. I mean, what the hell? So that doesn't help any. But they do want you to disclose if someone died in the house, or if the house has been reported. There's a list down here you can get on if your house has been reported with activity, because most of the old Vieux Carré, the old houses, the old quarter, the old city, somebody died in all of that shit. I mean, that shit's just haunted.
Yeah.
I mean, if you even have any sensitivity at all, and you go walking through the French Quarter 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to see stuff. You're going to see lots of stuff. That's what's so weird. You would see it in the daytime, but it's too busy with activity. You don't notice it. There's too much other stuff going on. Too many people walking up and down the streets.
What about that one house where the lady was a crazy lady and she killed all her slaves or the people she worked for?
No, there's a couple.
Are you talking about Lizzie Borden, maybe?
I don't remember. There's been a
No,
lot
no,
of
no. That's a mess. That's in Salem. Begins with the letter B on it. Her house down there on the quarter is like extremely haunted.
well, that's what I'm saying. If you're in the Vieux Carré, the old quarter, which that's what it's called, the French Quarter, Vieux Carré, or if you're in St. Charles, because that's the beginning of the old city along the river, and the Marigny, that's all the original old city. Before anything else, everything behind that was still considered swamp. And
Anything behind it still is considered swamp. Just that you guys.
no, now from lake to river, it's all houses now.
Well, I mean,
Of
don't feel
businesses.
bad. There's a city in Georgia that has a very, very much of a similar atmosphere to Louisiana with their St. Patrick's Day parade and party, but they also are the same thing. It's a lowland area that has buildings that are built in the 1700s, 1800s, where multiple entities have died within and without. The Civil War went through there, so several buildings of the town are
Yeah, so
famously haunted, and then there's 2 or 3 downtown cemeteries that are also very famously written about as haunted. So it's very cool.
Whoa, that
Hey,
is
there's
scary,
Liam.
man. Whoa. Shh. Shh. Okay, that scared me, man. You can't be scaring an old man like that's too much, man. I can't take that. That scared me.
Hey,
I
watch
know,
the
dude.
camera
Yeah,
jiggle.
you
You're
got my
making this old
dog
man
barking.
dizzy here.
It's but so you're
I
supposed to
mean,
report your
he
house
got
if you live
his
in the
dog
French Quarter.
scared.
I know he ran. So it's you're supposed to report your house if you live in the quarter or in the surrounding area in the old city. You're supposed to report it if it's haunted. You're supposed to tell people, and there's a registry they put it on. I guess so people can drive by and look at your house. Oh, look, it's haunted.
Well, oh yeah.
Or-
I mean,
Like the haunted mortuary. I mean, the mortuary is cool because, I mean, they dress it up for Halloween. You know, do the morgues and all. But so there's 2 rooms in there. You can rent the whole building, the whole old thing. It's in between 2 cemeteries, so you can rent the whole place. They got two rooms you can stand in. There's cameras all throughout the whole entire place.
wait. Back up 1 second. Did you say it's in between 2 cemeteries?
Yes.
No,
That's
thank
cool
you.
as hell.
No,
Why,
thanks.
Jay? Seriously, why? Why? Why not?
Did you see Poltergeist? No
Oh.
way.
I mean, anyway, those, and there's homes behind all those cemeteries. But anyway, so there's a big cemetery on the right, another cemetery on the left, and there's part of one behind it, and then you get the 2-story, actually kind of 3-story mortuary, and of course they've got the embalming room downstairs where you do everything, all that's there, and then there's other rooms throughout the place, and then there's the place where I guess you would come review the body and stuff. So, but there's cameras in all of this. There's a main place you can watch the cameras, and the whole place inside and out is cameras. So if you want to go investigate and just sit there and watch whatever may be going in and out of there, coming in and out of the graveyard, you can. I forgot what they charge for it, but I know a lot of people were doing it back when Taps was popular. A lot of people were going there. Now, what they offer today, you'd have to go ask, but it's definitely different. It's a different place.
I wouldn't do that, but several
Back then, it
years
wasn't really
ago.
expensive. It was only a couple $100. It was way enough for like a group that was going. It was way cheap for a group. And plus, after you got through doing that, you were on Canal Street. So just straight up Canal, about 1.5 miles is the famous French Quarter.
Yeah. So it would be cool to visit New Orleans, but I couldn't do the staying in that between the cemeteries. There's no way. But several years ago, I don't know if you remember this, Joe, but many years, maybe 10 years ago, it's somewhere in the maybe 8 years ago, some company in Romania was giving away a night on the town, or a night visiting the castle of Dracula, full tour of the castle, every room, and then an overnight stay within a coffin turned into a bed. And me,
What's wrong? That
Jeffrey
would be
Pritchett,
great.
and Laura, I believe Laura Lee and Michelle, all of us were like, we entered that contest, as often as we could. It was like a once a day kind of thing you could enter, and none of us won, of course, but that I would have done. That would have been cool as shit. Get a full on whole day or it might even have been a whole weekend.
If Satan's
Say-
going to be there, I'm bringing Michelle with me.
Imagine
So-
all the goth people that like to go there just to like get married and do weird things.
I'm not sure that they do that kind of event,
More
though,
than
but they
likely,
were offering
but
this.
Jay, you can go to Dracula. You can go to Dracula's castle, right? But you can't
Mhm.
go to a haunted.
Dracula's
What's the
castle. You
difference?
might be. You might
Wouldn't
be
do the
trouble
haunt.
there.
Well, could not. Wouldn't. I'm
I
not
mean,
going
I'm
to stay
sure-
overnight. No. Mm-mm. Different kind of animal. I'm
But-
not afraid of a
okay,
vampire.
I'm
I know
not
how to
trying. I'm
defeat
just.
them.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. Look at all the people, Jay, that Dracula killed. You telling me their spirits are not there?
But I don't. They wouldn't be after me. They'd be after him. But yeah, no. That would have been one of the coolest experiences. Is spend a day, even if it was just a day, but a weekend excursion into his castle, spending the night. And then the bonus was coffin as a bed. That would have been the most. I mean, even if there wasn't any kind of hint of paranormal activity, it would still be fun. 'Cause
Right.
at this
I
point,
can
he's still just a
understand
fictional
that.
character.
I just don't under.
Well, I mean,
That-
you notice my expertise
thought he was
falls really
nonfiction. I
mainly
thought
on
he
UFOs and
really
aliens. I
existed.
mean, I know a lot about the ghost world, but that's one world that scares me the most because it really is an unknown. Is it the afterworld? Is it demons? Is it past life regression imposing on modern life? Is it the interdimensional evil beings? It could be anything. That's the one thing. With the UFO, I know what it is. With Dracula, I know what it is. It's fictional.
It's kind of crazy.
So
What do
okay,
you
Yeah.
mean? No, I said if I was meeting Satan, I'd bring him Michelle. Oh, you mean aliens? I'm bringing Linda. The hell,
Yeah.
she just punched the damn
no, he's
alien.
going to
out.
bring me to meet Satan. Why would you want to
Yeah.
bring me to meet Satan, Joe? Why?
I said Michelle.
I
Michelle.
want to know.
I'd bring Michelle.
Oh,
to
Michelle,
tell you.
you sound like Sean.
No, I'd bring
Oh, she'd be in
Michelle.
heaven, man.
That's what I'm saying. So
She'd be in heaven.
I bring Linda to beat up on the aliens and Michelle to beat up on the demons. That's right,
Yeah.
people. You got to
I
protect
could
yourself
see
from
that
these things.
happening.
This is
Yes, you
where
do.
where the hell did I lose this at? Hold on. There it is, right there. Okay. So this is the mortuary. What are they doing down there now? The Queen of the Night. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Wait, it's got a trailer. Let's see. Is the trailer working?
Every evil has a beginning.
Lilith.
Yep.
She is the queen of the night.
Oh.
Origins of evil. At the Mortuary Haunted Mansion. Get tickets now at themortuary.net.
Ooh, they're doing their Halloween stuff. Okay.
And that's in downtown
You
New
guys-
You know
Orleans.
what?
Yeah.
I'd be punching that clown out.
Yep.
You
I
clown
used to
hater.
be a scare actor at Universal Studios Hollywood, and I would dress up
I would
as
punch that. No, don't dress up as a clown, Leah. I'll punch you out.
a lot of people got punched during Halloween Horror Nights. Like a lot of the people that worked there got punched. There was a lot of people that came in. It was jam packed full of people, and a lot of them would be on drugs. They would be drunk, and they'd be acting a fool, And they thought that it would be cool to like punch on some of the characters just because they were wearing masks or whatever. They were legitimate. Some of them were legitimately scared, and it was just their natural reaction.
There
But
you go. Look, they're now hiring Scare cruise.
Yep, there you go.
Yep, I did that. I did that in Hollywood for a few years.
Man, between 1930 and 2003, 20,000 dead people went through there, huh? Holy cow. Fluids of dead swirling into the drain. Oh, man. I wonder if they just let it drain under the city. No wonder the city's so effed up.
Yeah.
It's so I don't know if they only do this if they do this year round, because I know I thought they only did this for Halloween, but maybe
Halloween.
I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't see
It
nothing
is
that
this
says-
season. I mean, fall is among us. So all the fall
Yeah.
decorations are out at all the stores. I mean, Christmas
thought-
has
I-
been
See the
out.
graveyard right there. Look, Jay. See the
Christmas
graveyard. Right
decorations
They
have been
got-
out since the last
they
3
got
weeks
the
at
haunted-
Lowe's.
They got the haunted
I saw-
hayride going out now.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
the-
crazy.
I saw the ads for I don't know what it's called at Six Flags, but they got the same concept happening at Six Flags right now as well. I know Halloween Horror Nights was like almost the whole month of September into October and
Yeah.
part of November too. It was like a
First
3-month
week
event.
usually.
Oh, it looks like there's more than one clown here. They're showing. You might be in trouble, man.
Yeah,
see that.
There's about 3 of them.
Don't worry,
Four of them?
don't worry. I'll be punching them out. That's not a problem, dude.
Okay, we can't bring Sean to the haunted mortuary. I can see
Yeah.
now. We'll all be in jail. Dun, dun, dun,
Hey,
dun.
Leah, where you at?
Leah.
Hey, I
Leah's
love your
being-
haircut. I like your
Oh.
haircut.
Thank you. I haven't washed. I think it's just I haven't washed it in the last couple days.
It looks nice on you. It looks nice on you.
Thank
It
you.
looks, it,
Yeah,
looks-
Halloween Horror Nights was very similar, and it was just jam packed. It was like the most, but that and Grinchmas, those were like the two top events of the year there.
They don't do that much Christmassy horror stuff here, but there are a lot of cornfield mazes in the area. Because, like I said from the other night, I said we live in an agrarian area, so there's cornfields and shit all around me. The Maryland Renaissance Festival, the next state over, they have a corn maze every time they're opened up, and year round. It's 3 weeks or 3 months,
Hey,
or rather,
Jay, how
per
close?
year.
Jay, how close are you to Greene County?
Greene County?
Yeah,
I have no idea. I'll have to look on the map.
because there's a
Honestly,
great
don't.
haunted maze, corn maze going on down there.
Oh, like I said, they're all over the place. There's like if you go to like the ruts or the sheets or the rudders, or any of the, like some of the convenience stores, they have the 5 and 6 little pamphlet holders for multiple different Halloween corn maze things. It's awesome around here for Halloween.
It is. We take our Halloween serious up here in Pittsburgh.
no, we take it pretty serious down here in New Orleans. I have to tell you.
I would think.
I feel like New Orleans would be really cool on Halloween.
If you can get in the dungeon, it's fabulous, man. All Hallows Eve, it's just a great place to hang out. It's a tiny
Those
little place.
cemeteries.
Yes, and they have cemetery tours on Halloween. You can go walk around with the
Probably
dead
about 3 hours.
people. You can go walk
3
around with
hours.
the dead people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at the bottom
That's
corner.
too-
Yeah, it's about 3 hours, maybe 4.
Okay, it's not worth going all the way down there for like an hour into the maze. Yeah, but it's a good maze down there.
Let's see, what was I looking for?
Hey,
Let's
Joe,
see what
did
I-
you put any thought about me doing that live investigation on our show that night, Halloween night?
Well, I'd like to do an investigation. Right now, I'm just talking with the pay for listen people.
Okay.
We're seeming to not agree on some stuff. That's why we haven't switched companies yet. We're still at Roku, but we want to switch to the other company so that there's a
Okay,
new
but,
website.
yeah.
But we're just for some reason we're having a little hard time agreeing on something. Look, we already agreed to up the bandwidth, which was going to cost us more money so we have more storage there to a terabyte. So we ate that. We bit the big one on that. But I want certain things for the pay-per-view. And if I can't have it, and then on a day, he said, you might have to do your whole channel pay. I said, no. If that's the case, because I had sent him a payment, and then I put it on a hold, I froze it. And so, well, look, until we can come to an agreement on pay-per-view, there's no reason to give you any money. I said, because pay-per-view is just what it is. And I said, we need it so that we can have pay-per-view separate, and we can also have our free stuff. I said, if we can't do it that way, we don't need to be with you. We need to go with somebody else. And they was all like, oh, they capped it. I said, they copped an attitude. I said, well, you want to cop an attitude? Look, we'll just go with someone else now. And he's like, no, that's not what I meant. I said, well, let's work this out. He said, well, we might have to be a special kind of deal. I said, I don't care what it's got to be. I said, this is what we need. I said, if you can give it to me, you give it to us. I'm going to give you a week. If you give it to me, if you can't, I'm going with somebody else. It's like negotiating for anything else. But the cry-ass baby.
Because my friend, honestly, Joan, I know he's kind of jumping the gun on this a little bit, but he already has the advertisement going.
Well,
but he
so we
just yet. He's just waiting.
Well, I mean, we always have the option to running it through the members feed on YouTube as well. We can just do a live event that you can only get through the members feed, or we can slow it down some so it's going through the members feed. Either way, but I'd rather it go through the Roku feed. I want it going through the television feed. That's where I want it going through. So
you're the boss.
So yeah, I don't know. Look,
I got them, but it's all set ready to go.
They were like, I tell you what, I pissed that guy off something fierce the other day. I was like, look, dude, I said, this isn't all this complicated. I said, you're making this into something more complicated than it needs to be. Oh no, Mr. Joe. I said, no, you told me this. I said, now this is what I expect. I said, if you can't, just tell me. I said, stop wasting my time. Then I decided, I said, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you the end of next week. If you can't figure it out, I'm gonna let you talk to my manager. And then after that, we'll probably be looking for somebody else. He's like, what? I said, I'm just being honest with you. I said, I'm not going to keep playing with you. But, okay, let's see. What is it? Y'all hear this?
Yeah, I hear it.
I'm not scared of that.
We're going to go check this haunted house out right now.
Dude, you better stop eating and drinking all that shit. You'll fucking kill yourself, you old bastard.
The mortuary was built in 1872 as a family mansion. It changed hands several times, and in 1930 became an actual funeral home. It would change hands a few more times again over the years until 2007, when it was purchased with the intent to turn it into an incredible haunted house for everyone to enjoy. It's surrounded by cemeteries and is said to be extremely haunted by several spirits. A haunted house in an actual haunted house. I'm with my buddy Houdat Pat, who is letting me inside to get a look at this year's theme, the Blood Wedding.
All right, bro, you ready? Yeah. Build a website you love with Wix.
What the?
For your words,
freaking commercials.
All right, let's go this way.
Then we may have to review haunted houses on this show. I ain't seen nothing black. You better show me something.
It would have been a little bit better if he'd have put his camera on night mode.
I know, man. Dude, you suck.
It is on night mode.
Oh, it is? Okay, well, he's got a shitty phone then.
That's it now. Don't be shy. Said don't be shy, Mom.
See, I would get dizzy. I would be dizzy.
Welcome to the walk where behold and tell me. My master, always been me waiting for so long. You promised me eternal life. You promised to make me just like him. One little bite.
That looks like the guy from Queen.
No, I think he's gonna tell you what.
Don't he look like Marilyn Manson a little?
I just don't know how anyone would be scared of any animatronic.
I know, so far.
I wouldn't even call them animatronic, Lee. I call them pneumatic. Animatronic, at least they move and the lips move.
Yes, if you're a little kid, you know, it might scare the poop out of you. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Where are the real actors?
Oh man, look at night game in this thing.
DSG presents your favorite classic fleece.
There we go.
The All-Star. It comforts you on your first.
I guess that's supposed to be The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the next real person.
Well, that's the nurse. That's the nurse from Silent Hill. The movie.
The hand should reach out there and grab your ass
Oh,
or
that's
something.
cool.
Man.
Yeah. You're not feeding the zombies. Those are real humans, yeah? Or no? Yes, they are.
Vampires?
No, they are not.
Vampires?
They are not.
Hey, what is this, man? I be reaching out, grabbing people. They be crapping themselves.
Right this way! The brides have been waiting for you!
All right, y'all killing me, man.
Build a website you love with Wix.
All right, they're killing me, man. We got to get rid of them people.
You know what, dude? You know what? I wasn't impressed at all. I wasn't.
I wasn't either. Maybe it got better at the end or something, but we ain't gonna find out. It's that was just boring.
Yeah.
No, this year's a different
and
team.
it was an impressive amount of pneumatic devices. I'll admit a lot of those, but not particularly well done or scary.
The pre-recorded screaming, like the recorded noises, all of it to me, it's like going to Chuck E. Cheese as an adult.
I actually enjoy Chuck E. Cheese's very much. Thank you, Leah.
We're not going there. We're just leaving Chuck E. Cheese alone, people. Even if there's even any of them left out there anymore.
There are actually. I saw a commercial for them on TV just a day or two ago. I mean, not long, like 2 days, 3 days ago.
We only ever had one. I don't know if it's still around. It might have been the big one.
Over here in the Quad Cities, we got Pizza Ranch, and it's Christian music, country style, like
oh joy, Christian music. That's the kind of place that you go up in there and you ask the manager, "Excuse me, what kind of music do you play here?" And they go, "Oh, we play both kinds of
actually
music."
scarier than what we just seen. I mean, that is scary.
It's
Look
really
at that.
good pizza, though. I'm telling you, it's good pizza, and it's even better fried chicken.
Chuck E. Cheese has good pizza.
Okay,
never been to Chuck E. Cheese's. Never been.
They were okay.
They make a very decent pizza.
Well, the play place area, like the arcade and Pizza Ranch,
and they have
Liam really liked it. Yeah.
I tell you what, I miss pizza, and it was a pizza and a pitcher of beer for $5. I miss them. Yeah. Plus, we'd sit there, a pizza and a pitcher of beer for $5.
We had a place in just inside of DC called Godfather's Pizza, and they were a chain. They were all over the place.
Yeah, Godfather's was around for a while.
They had like a deal, the same kind of thing. It was like a whole pizza and a pitcher of beer, like $15 back in the 80s. Really good shit.
They still have a Godfather's up here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they still got a couple around here. That's what's his name owned them and got himself.
Their beer pitchers that says Godfather on it. It's in the house somewhere downstairs.
One of you, I forgot who owned them. He owned them, and he owned the fast food ones as well too. He got his butt in trouble. He said something back in the woke time and got his ass in trouble. I forgot what it was. It was something stupid, but he said something, so it hurt his stock. He ended up selling out of the business. You got to be careful with what you say. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about that with some of the winners from Writers of the Future earlier for book 42. When you're an author and illustrator and you're trying to make it in the world, you can't really get into politics or religion for that matter. Oh, speaking of that, I infuriated this poor bastard today. I infuriated him. So he's doing this Jesus thing, and I just was going by. I wasn't even paying attention. And I heard him say, "Well, no, there's no proof of the person existed." I said, "Joe, don't stop. Just don't stop. Just keep scrolling, Joe. Don't stop." Oh, so I scrolled on by. Oh no, but I had to go back. So I'm listening to the guy go on. The guy's going on and on and on and on. I said, and I put my little thing up. I said, "Can I talk?" And he says, "Well, do you know anything about it?" I said, "I know a little bit about it." I said, "I would introduce myself." I said, "But you know what? Let me just rebut what you were saying because I can." And he's like, "What?" I said, "Well, I'm not really here to promote myself." I said, "I was here because what you were saying was incorrect." I said, "So he's in the Torah and the Quran." I said, "Jesus is in both books."
Yes, he is.
I said, "So do you think the Torah and the Quran wrote about a fictional person? Is that what you're telling me?" I said, "Just be honest. Tell me what you think." He said, "Well, they must have been." I said, "Okay, well, we'll try to take that." I said, "So the Philistine emperor sent for Jesus." I said, "But you didn't know this either, because he was sick and he needed to be healed. But while he was dead, Jesus was actually in Rome. Well, he was in Italy, I should say. He was traveling around through there, and then there's writings between the governor of these principalities and the Roman emperor, asking what they should do about Jesus, because Jesus was okay.
Wasn't Jerusalem also part of?
Yes, it was part of.
It was part of Rome. It wasn't considered Jerusalem. It was a city called Jerusalem, but it was part of Rome, which was
it was a conquered. Well, they were a conquered empire, is what they were.
Right.
So first the Egyptians conquered him, and then the Romans conquered him.
But even if he never went to Rome, he was in Rome.
And Christopher, Palestine today is a people, but that's not what it was in the past. It was an area. So it was people, and Israel was one of the tribes that lived in that area. Yeah, so technically they would be Palestinians too. So you watch what you're saying if you don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, there are writings about from the governors of these places to the emperor of Rome saying, "Hey, look, this Jesus guy is coming to our town. He's going to be in our town. What should we do about it?" And the emperor wrote back on 4 occasions, said, "Nothing. Don't worry about it. Just let it, do its thing." And he did. So now we know that he went to at least 4 different cities. Whoops, you kicked yourself out. Now
Yeah,
he went to at
I
least 4
brushed some
different
dust off my computer and it kicked me out of the room.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. So now we have writings about Jesus in 4 Roman cities, and with the Philistine emperor. That's 5
I
places.
believe he does come up in at least 2 or 3 Roman censuses taken within the region of Jerusalem and Bethlehem.
So now we have 7 or 8 different things that prove the man existed. I said maybe your argument should be that he wasn't a god, because proving the man existed,
proving he was a god,
easy.
proving he did the miracles, proving he walked on water. All that's just speculation right now. We weren't there. None of us were.
I said, now you've lost this argument, so don't get upset. I said, but proving that he was a man was the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you said he didn't exist, and I just proved to you he did exist. I said, so your point now is, do you believe he was the Son of Christ, or you believe he was something else? But he did live. I said, so you're going to have to deal with the part where he lived. I said, I'm sorry, because he was pissed. I mean, this guy was just like unbelievably pissed, and he had a large following. And I just basically bitch slapped.
He cut it in half.
And I said, then he goes, well, you should at least tell me who you are. I said, my name's Joe Montaldo. I'm a host on News and the Flipside and owner of United Public Radio Network. I said, you never had a chance in this, my friend. I said, we do this kind of stuff on a daily basis. I said, maybe you should consider being a host or something. Maybe we'll think about giving you a job one of these days when you get all grown up. I said, but you never took the time to even think about the Quran or the Torah. And why would they mention Jesus if he wasn't real? They're not saying he's the Son of God. They're just saying he was a minor prophet roaming around the town saying stuff.
There's also some rumors about him being written about in some Buddhist texts.
He's been written about in several places, but the Catholics don't want you to know about that shit. Well, the Christians don't want you to know about he was, roaming around the desert being a hoe dog.
I think he did meet Buddha. I do believe he did.
There's some artwork that agrees with you, Sean.
Yeah, and there's a couple other writings that suggest
the timelines don't mesh up, because Buddha is either way before or way after. I can't remember which one. I think Buddha comes first.
Yeah, I think Buddha does come first.
But by like 100 years before, so it would be impossible for him to have met.
But he might not have met
when Siddhartha was the Bodhisattva.
He just met the next person down. That's all.
What if there was just a succession of these highly enlightened human alien hybrid beings that were just on this little mission to go meet up, be like, hey, it's time to hang out, guys.
And what, throw our planet into chaos?
Let's argue about which one of us.
I was just picking on Linda a little while ago about why women aren't in power anymore, because you got us kicked out of fucking Eden. So we're still pissed about that, women always, it's me this. No, we're still pissed about being kicked out of Eden.
Ribs, Joe. Don't forget the ribs.
Yeah, plus you got one of our fucking ribs, man.
Rib.
I mean, what kind of bullshit is this? Took a rib.
Well, supposedly it was all part of God's plan.
And the women made us eat that apple, man. The women made us eat that apple.
Yeah, I know, man.
Hey, supposedly that was divine planning or something, right?
Yeah, divine planning my ass. That was Satan planning, man.
Allegedly, it was a snake man who gave.
Since it was a reptilian, we know who caused it.
If God is all-knowing and omnipotent, then he was totally aware of the fact that Eve was going to eat that apple and knew what the consequences were going to be, and that was what his plan was the whole time.
He didn't know that. He
didn't know that, Leo. No.
All he did was create.
No, she's right. If God of the Bible is omniscient and omnipotent and all-seeing and all-knowing, he would have known the outcome of that action.
But I've never heard Jesus say he was all-knowing. I never even heard God say he was all-knowing. I've only heard somebody writing that.
That's a good point too.
So we don't know, and he might not even want to be all-knowing.
Well, okay, here I was thinking.
And what fun would it be if he knew everything Satan was going to do? I mean, that would even make it fair. So maybe he turned that part off.
Who knows? The problem with the Bible is, and I was thinking about this really right before the show. So I'm glad we're talking about it. It fascinates me that people fanatics of the Bible, with actual religious people that abide by the Bible, they're quick to grab the concept of an invisible, all-seeing, all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipotent guy in the sky that can do everything. But they don't believe stuff that's actually in the book. Like in the very beginning of the book, it actually says in the time before when they were other people. No one asks about those other people. Who was there before Adam and Eve? No one asks about that. No one says speculates. Where did all those buildings come from? Where did Puma come from? Where did Gobekli Tepe come from? There was something here on the earth before the events of the Bible, civilizations wise, and it's written about in the Bible. It actually says in the people of the time they were there in the other time. There were other people there on the earth along with Adam and Eve. Who were they? The Bible doesn't say. That's because the Vatican took it out.
All right, now Jay, growing up, that was drilled into our brains.
Yeah.
The only parts of the Bible that they wanted us to know.
Yeah.
They didn't
all the
care.
bullshit parts. Yeah.
That's all they wanted everybody to know. They drilled it into our brain, and they didn't even mention the stuff that you were saying. You want my opinion? I think the Bible needs to be rewritten. I believe 3/4 of that shit that's put in there needs to get out of there. And that's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it.
Not necessarily rewritten so much as
take it out.
Let's find the original copies that weren't edited. That didn't, the stuff before. The first Council of Nicaea, which I think is in the first century AD, like the 1000 AD. The first Bibles are written somewhere on the order of the first or second century. Like
they would never do that though, because that would mean that they would have to re-include all of the books that were written by women and that glorified.
I know that, but there's still copies out there. There's at least three or at least two other repositories of knowledge, and one of them reportedly is under the right paw of the Sphinx. And I think it's next year they're supposedly they go inside of it. And if that's true, if next year they go inside of it and find this ancient repository, it will answer all of these questions that we're talking about right now.
They don't want they omitted all the stuff that talked about women having the same amount of free agency as men, and they didn't want women to feel empowered.
Prior to the events of the Bible, it was a matriarchal society. Women ruled the planet way before any of the events of the Bible.
Exactly. Now, how come Mary Magdalene's book wasn't put in?
Exactly.
Because they didn't want Jesus to be married. He's supposed to be single. You can't be a rabbi in ancient Israel unless you're married.
Wait a minute, Joe. You can be, right? Yeah, you can marry. Rabbis could marry.
No, they have to be.
Yes, they can.
That's the way it works. So you can't. Jay was right.
Now, if you want to be a rabbi, you don't have to be married. But in Jesus's time, the law of the Jews was if you wanted to be a rabbi and teach, you had to be married.
And I think
they wouldn't let single men in.
Still have to be married today. I'm pretty sure if you're if you're Orthodox, you still have to be married.
Maybe in the Orthodox, but in the generic regular Jewish church, they don't have. The rabbis do not have to be married to preach at a.
Let me ask you this question, buddy. Who was in charge of the apostles?
But what even happened to the apostles?
Oh, Mary Magdalene was.
Mary Magdalene was. Yes,
she was the chief apostle. Jesus was in charge of all of them, but when he wasn't around, she was his word.
Magdalene, yep, Mary Magdalene. She was the boss of all them boys, them 12 boys there. Yes,
yeah, and Judah didn't like that. That's why he turned him in.
No, Judas got the bad end of the stick, dude. He got screwed by John, who wrote John 96 years later. Well, to keep it short, okay, the Judeans are the one that crucified Christ. Okay, so you look at Judas and you look at the name Judeans, they kind of similar. So that's how they blame Judas for that. Because how can somebody write the book of John 96 years after Christ died? That's when that book was written. 96 years
so I think some of them, maybe not all of them, but some of them are written based on letters that had been written by and found by or were associated with whoever the chapter is named after, Matthew, Luke, John, etc. So,
John,
and
yeah,
there's-
but if you
so
write a
that-
book, 90,
that's how they're
96
saying they write those books. But how can they? Let's see the letters. Where do they actually have like the letters of these apostles in like a museum somewhere? I'd like to see those. That'd be pretty kind
That's
of
why
interesting.
whoever wrote John, man, the reason why he blamed Judas was because the Judeans crucified Christ, and Judean and Judas, the name is similar. That's how he
Well,
got
okay, but
screwed.
how come they say Longinus, who was the Roman soldier guarding Jesus, is the one who killed him, was the Roman soldier?
Got me, man. I'm fixated on Judas. I believe he is the hill that he is so allegedly killed on is in Israel, right near the Dome of the Rock. At least what most of all three religions are saying that or thinking that. Number one, and number two, I do believe that Pontius Pilate was an arm of the Roman government, and he was in charge of not only Judea at that time, but also Bethlehem and Jerusalem and Israel, and basically that very region we're talking about. So, Pilate,
I'm pretty
man,
sure
he
the
washed his
Romans
hands.
executed him, and I think the charges were for upsetting. He upset the moneylenders' carts. That's when he was arrested. He fucked with the
Who
bank
was it?
and they killed him.
King, what was it? King Herod?
King Herod
King
was
Herod.
in charge of the region.
Joe, are we boring you? Are we boring you, Joe?
No, I'm just thinking. That's all. It's
Isn't King who was it that turned Saul into Paul or Paul into Saul?
Huh?
Yeah, Paul and Saul. One of them came first, and they're the same person.
I don't know that story.
I don't know that one, Leah.
Oh, let me look it up.
Spit it out and send it to him. I was just thinking, it's just one of those things that here we are 2,000 years later.
Oh, here's the reason. It's the same dude. It's not two different dudes. The Hebrew name given to him by his parents was Saul. But because his father was a Roman citizen and therefore Saul inherited Roman citizenship, Saul had to gain the Latin name Paul. So he had both names. His name is Saul, colloquially like a nickname, but Paul is his name in actual Latin.
And wasn't he one of Christ's first followers, like first converts into Christianity?
I have no idea.
Or whatever. I mean, I guess Christianity didn't exist yet.
First of all, Jesus did not start Christianity. Jesus
Right.
isn't a church. He isn't starting a church. That happens 100 years after he's dead.
So what is it that he's preaching?
He's trying to get the people
Preaching peace, love, and light.
Yeah, he's also trying to steer things more towards a matriarchal society on top of it, or at least being bilateral. Sometimes you'd have a male leader, sometimes you'd have a female leader. He was touting that kind of stuff, but he wasn't arrested until he was in the church or in the square, in the market square, and he upset the moneylenders' carts and showed them to be frauds. When he did that, that's when they put a contract out on him, and he was killed within the next week.
Well, let me throw this monkey wrench into the situation. Do you believe his miracles happened?
Like I said, you have to be there to have witnessed them. None of us were there. That is part of your faith. I can't
Which
give
was
you your
put
faith.
into the Bible.
That's the other fucked up
It
thing
ain't
about the
my
Bible.
faith, dude.
Either you believe it or you don't. Personally, me, Sean, I don't believe it. I mean, think they're allegorical stories. The changing of water to wine and the 5 fishes into 5 loaves, whatever. However, okay, it's impossible to do those things. And if you could do those things, and it was witnessed by,
but that's not really
science,
true.
They're basically saying he's Neo from the Matrix, like he could bend the spoon and stuff.
You're not even paying attention. So half of what we considered miracles, we can now reproduce. It only took us 2,000 years to get there, but half of what he said we could do now. I mean, we can cure anything with a wave of a hand now. Just go to Pfizer, say here,
Peter,
put some in.
also known as Simon, was the first.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Why all these new names?
That's who they were.
You're translating from 2 or 3 different ancient tongues, like
Peter
ancient
and
Israeli.
Simon
ancient,
don't sound anything alike.
Well, because they're all 3 dead languages. We don't use Latin anymore. Aramaic has been dead for over 1,000 years. That means most of these guys' names were written initially in Aramaic and then translated to Latin. That's why you're getting 2 and 3 different names for some of these dudes.
I mean, I
Peter
remember
and Simon
going
are
to
still
church
the
for
different
Latin.
names used today.
It's all, like I said, they're translating from 2 and 3 and 4 different languages. So there's a lot of error and a lot of room for speculation. I mean, the miracle thing, it's, again, either you believe it or you don't. Me personally, I don't. But
And that's okay. And I'm okay with
back
that.
that far and translating those ancient languages, there's going to be errors that creep into all kinds of things, like time frames, timelines, when it happened, when it didn't happen. Was it summer, spring, fall? Who, you know?
Well, the one
Bible
that was
is
found,
only a guidebook, if
the
anything at all, as it is
the
right
one,
now.
the one book that was right was St. Thomas, and that was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay, and that was never put
He's
into.
the doubting Thomas of biblical lore.
And the reason why he was considered the doubting Thomas is because he could never. His thing was, I can go anywhere and pray to God, and love God will love me back. He thought that I don't need to go to a 4-wall building with a bunch of people to pray.
Yeah, split a rock, there I am. Split a log, there I am. That's the saying. That's what they were talking about. But Jesus also preached that. So that's I'm I don't even know why he'd be doubting that, because Jesus didn't believe in churches either. When he preached, he preached out on the beaches, on the mounds. He was never in a church.
But also they had to meet in clandestine, usually forests, glens and groves and such, like because if they were to be found in like I said, we all went to Joe's house when we were all Christian in the time, of the Roman soldiers, and they found us at Joe's house, they would kill all of us right there on the spot.
That doesn't seem to be true. The Romans didn't seem to have a problem with the Christians. The Jews did.
Well, okay,
because when you read about him traveling, but what I'm saying is when you read about him traveling, yeah, they were talking about what he was doing, but nobody wanted to do it. And even the day he died, he said, "I'm not going to kill an innocent man. It's up to y'all." I mean, because they didn't have a problem with it. The Romans never had a problem with this. Was always on the Jews. The Jews had a problem with it because it was taking the Jews' power away from them.
Yeah.
They weren't going to be the chosen people anymore. It was taking their power away.
Exactly.
So they killed him. Which still makes me wonder: are they still the chosen people, or are they going to go to a special hell since they killed Christ? Maybe that's why
the alleged.
Maybe that's why the Israelis have it so bad.
Yeah, hey, you know what, Joe? That's right. That's very possible.
Maybe
it's
that's
karma.
Why
it's karma coming back on their asses.
Wait a minute. When did they kill Jesus? After the plagues, right?
It was
after. So, like the plague, they were slaves first, then they were the emperor wouldn't let them go. Then the emperor did say, "Okay, you can go." Then he said, "No, you can't go." Then there was plagues, and then he said, "All right,
when was
you can
Jesus
go."
killed?
Then he changed his mind again and chased after him. All of that stuff happened before.
Okay.
Jesus. So
we concluded that Jesus was most likely crucified on April 3rd, A.D. 33.
So yeah, okay. So all the bad stuff that happened to the Jews happened before they killed him.
So that's how they get his age. So yeah, he's definitely older than that. He's
He's probably closer to 43, maybe even 53.
Yeah, he's definitely older than what they said he was in the beginning, and that's not even that hard to figure out. So they had to have time to be around and have children.
Well, okay, so if we put it like this, they said he was dead. They said he was dead in 33 A.D. And let's just say he was born in 7 B.C. That makes him 40.
Yeah, I would say
maybe 41.
I would say 40 plus. I wouldn't know what the plus is, but I'd say 40 plus. He was definitely at least 40.
I'd say 40 within a plus or minus 2 to 3 years range.
So if you think about he got married at 33, and then he had those kids, he might have even been in his mid 40s. It's somewhere along the line, he had to build enough confidence to do what he did. And it does seem like he was traveling longer than what we're allowed to think. So, I mean, if you go by the Catholic Church, that means he left home at like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
If you look at the Bible, Joe, they talk about Jesus up to the age of 12. Then they start up again with him when he turned 35.
But not until the New Testament. Yeah.
So there's no way a 12-year-old boy was roaming around through the Roman Empire.
Not by
Oh,
himself.
No.
He
He'd have
went
been
with his-
either
he went with his
enslaved,
uncle, or he
raped, or
went
something in
with his
between.
mom. He went somewhere.
He was definitely, and then later on, you know, you start hearing these different stories about the different governors that had seen him. There's at least 3 known, maybe even 4 known stories in the empire where he went and hung out in cities for lengths of time. And then it seems like he went to the Palestinian emperors for at least 4 or 5 years. And since he left alive, he must have went and done whatever he was supposed to do. Because it was there that they healed the emperor. So he must have pulled it off, or he wouldn't have got out of there alive. So that definitely puts him into 40 plus years old.
Yeah.
It's so, you know, they were telling what was going on, and they were slaves back in the day. They were not slaves in the way we think of slaves. They were like free Roman slaves. You know, they could roam around and do what they wanted pretty much until they were needed, and then they were slaves.
People
again.
today don't think of them, don't realize that. I mean, most people don't realize that we're basically slaves to corporations, you know, but we don't think of ourselves as slaves. We think of ourselves as employees.
Wage slaves, we certainly think of ourselves.
Right.
Okay, I'm not a slave to nobody. Just say I let y'all know that ahead of time.
We're your slaves,
Well,
Joe. We're your slaves.
As long as
Joe.
you're paying taxes, and those taxes are going to other countries.
I don't pay taxes, so I don't have to worry about that. It's
Okay.
I'm tax exempt for all the murdering and killing I had to do for the government when I was young.
Nah.
And what was that, Janice? And Janice, is that how you say your name? How's Pal Talk working tonight? I just looked at it for the first time. No, I seen it when we were doing the Arthur's Quill, but that's the first time I looked at it tonight over here. No, I was teasing. I didn't do that kind of stuff when I was in the military. No,
Not Joe. No, he was a yeoman. He sat behind a desk and typed on a typewriter.
That's what I did. I wouldn't even know what a typewriter was until you. It's no, I had several dangerous jobs in the Navy, and I had several cushy jobs in the Navy. So
Yeah, the yeoman.
yeah,
Yeoman Joe.
never was a yeoman though. I was a lieutenant, but never a yeoman.
Mhm.
And, I was an E4 and never got promoted above that till I got made lieutenant. Yeah, so I figured that one out. It actually, in case you didn't notice, I seen a smartest comment you made. A captain, especially a fleet captain, can promote you to any rank he wants to from any rank that you are. It's a field commission. And if he feels that you can handle that job, he can do it. All the way up to commander, yes. Technically, because he's a fleet commander, he can even promote you to captain. Yeah, well, fleet commanders are like admirals. Well, in the old days, they would make them like, what was it, brigadier? No, what was it? Commodore is what they called themselves.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the captains didn't like that, so they went back to just being captains with lots of power.
Well, you know what? You know that you were saying the commanders of the fleet. Those other ones that sit up in Washington, they're just like the captains are like master chiefs for them people up there. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
They do all the dirty work, and they sit up there and at the Pentagon, and they take all the credit for it, which isn't right. That's one thing I hated the most, Joe. We did all the hard work, and they got all the credit for it.
Oh yeah, I got into a fight with one of my what an E6. I was on deck doing something, and I said, "Man, look," I said, "I'm gonna do all this work, and you're gonna get the fucking credit for it." It's just how I said it. And he said, "Well, get promoted, and I won't get the credit for it anymore." I said, "Yeah, you're 2 ranks ahead of me. So by the time I get to E6, you'll be master." I was like, I was like, you know, it's like bullshit is what this is.
Yeah, it is. Much.
And he goes, well, I don't know what to tell you. Well, his dumb ass didn't realize 3 months later I got promoted to lieutenant out of the blue. I remember coming down and seeing him, and he had to salute me. I thought he was going to crap himself because he had to salute me. And I said, what was that? Were you talking with me about a couple of months ago? I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to remove you from deck duty and put you on latrine duty for a while. I said, now, you know, you got to go to class for that because the latrines have to be done a certain way on board the ship. I said, so I'm going to sign you up for the latrine class this week. And that's where you'll be until further notice. And I remember he wrote to my commander, I don't know, 50 times. Then he'd come see me all the time. He'd get like, he said, Joe, how long are you going to keep him down there? I said, until he learns some fucking respect. And I said, go down there and talk to him right now. He's still egotistical out of his mind. So my commander said, okay, he went down and talked to him, and he gave him a commander shit. He said, he'll be down there at the end of the duty line to the end of the roster. He said, we get off the ship next time, we'll take him off and put him on something else. And sure enough, that's what they did too. He was down there for 11 months.
Oh shit! In the shitter for 11 months.
Yeah, so he tried to get transferred off the ship, but everybody told him, "Fuck you." And then he asked,
get transferred to another shitter.
Yeah, he asked for a captain's mast, and the captain said, "I trust my officers." So I mean, he was pretty much screwed. No, when you're at sea like that, there's not much you can do. If you can get the captain to look at it, he could change it, but most of the time, the captain won't override. It would have to be blatant incompetence by an officer for a captain to.
Yeah, when you're at sea, man, captain spells God.
They do too.
It really does. He is the final word. Until you get to port, he's the final word.
Being on a Nimitz, one of the reasons my clearance had to be as high too is being on a Nimitz on the conning tower. Since he was fleet commander, I was privy to everything coming and going inside of this. And since I was the one working on the equipment, I knew everything that was coming and going. Oh, you name it, I knew it. Oh yeah, Russian and Chinese would have loved to get hold of my ass. I knew all the inside workings of all the weaponry systems. It wouldn't matter today because all that stuff's been upgraded now.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, you might be some Iranians might have this kind of weapons.
I mean, look at what we were playing with in World War II. Look at how far we went just from World War II to Korea. We're using laser-guided missiles and bombs already.
Well,
Korea was the first where we used night vision goggles.
We're pretty much using the same equipment from when I left in 1990, except for the new catapults. But the missiles are pretty much the same. The phalanxes are pretty much the same. The only different thing is everything tracks much better and is much faster. It locks on target much faster. The scanning systems is what's have really been upgraded.
Well, but also right around 1990 is when you went from Springfield M1911s to Beretta M9s.
Yeah. Well, no,
that's the only real change in equipment, really, in the United States Army and Navy.
The only thing I was allowed to carry.
That's really only standard dress duty uniform change.
Yeah. The only thing I got to carry was a standard 1911 45. That's what I carried. It's just standard issue, nothing special.
Probably Springfield Army Model A2.
Yeah, it was definitely a 1911 though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It was 1911 is just a version of a 45. Yeah.
It was the most reliable pistol of World War II. More reliable than the Chinese pistols, the Russian pistols, the German pistols, and more reliable than the Japanese pistols.
And the only reason any of the branches of service got rid of it because it was usually only 9 to 11 rounds.
Yeah. Now, the German pistol was called a Ruger. Is that true?
The Luger. The Luger was.
That was a 9mm.
It's a 9mm. The Luger. I mean, it started off with a different caliber, but Luger it was a toggle that came upwards when it bent like a knuckle like that. The problem with that mechanism is a lot of times that knuckle, the hinge was up here, and it would break. The little metal pin that was in there over firing so many times would break, and that whole assembly, the firing assembly, would come out and kill the operator. It happened to German soldiers mostly because they used it more than we did, but those few of our troops who were able to get a trophy you know, they called it the SS gun, the Luger P38. When they didn't know what they were doing with it, and a lot of times they'd be playing with it, and blam, it would blow up in their face and kill them. It was one of the most deadly pistols in the war.
They fixed that though, so
Eventually they did, but you know, you never knew which model you're going to get on the battlefield.
Do you know what blew me away? How Mattel made our guns were they in Vietnam, Joe?
Yeah, they
didn't make our guns. What they made was they made a stamped out single shot 45 caliber gun that one could hide as a belt or a belt buckle. And it came with a little card with all the languages of Europe and English. And it said, take this gun, kill a German, take his gun, kill another German. And so what they did was they dropped it on occupied France for the French resistance and others to pick up and use it for that purpose. Kill a German, take his gun, and shoot more Germans.
No, I'm talking about the M16.
The M16 was made by not my Mattel. Mattel made the Bakelite that is the forearm grip and the pistol grip area, but they didn't make the actual mechanism. No.
Okay.
What was that? So I was looking for something, guys. This thing's being a pain in the you know what. Let's see. Oh, look at all these pretty guns somebody just sent me. I like this. Oh, this is cutesy. What is this? Oh, this gives us all 18 manufacturers that were building guns for us. Oh, that's cool. Oh, let's see. 18 weapon manufacturers building the U.S. Army guns, vehicles, and tech. Want to use some names, people.
Springfield, Ruger.
Let's see. Pine Bluff Arsenal. What the hell is
Pine
this?
Bluff? That's in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what it says, but this isn't Australia. It's something in the U.S. Number of systems under contract for the U.S. Army, 4.
Isn't there a Pine Bluff, Arkansas?
Probably. I wouldn't even know. Pacific Star Communications. They have 4 contracts with the military. Laditos, 4 contracts with the military.
This is for sidearms or what?
This is just, it's not saying it's supposed to be for sidearms, but it's not saying. They're in Virginia, actually. Oh, you know what? They tell you what states they're in. Hold on, let me go back at the top. Yep, Whitehall, Arkansas. That's Pine Bluff Arsenal's in Whitehall, Arkansas. This one's in Portland, Oregon. Reston, Virginia. Let's see what this Flare company is. They're in Oregon. Another 4. They all seem to have 4. Collins Aerospace. And what kind of guns are you making?
Hey, Dragon.
Also has 4. 13 Honeywell. Oh, they got 5. That's pretty good. Abrams Main Battle Tank.
Ooh.
They make the howitzer. They also make the lighthouse. Oh, wait, they say on here, well, I'm messing up again. I got to go back at the top and read. I swear sometimes. What's this one make? Chemical, biological, protective shelter, mortar weapon systems, health performance evacuations. That's the Pine Bluff stuff. Shit. Stay away from there.
Yeah.
Tactical network transport signal moderation, unified network operations, or whatever the hell that means.
Hey, Kevin.
Advanced field artillery, tactical data systems, airborne reconnaissance. That's interesting. So Flare is a common robotic system, next generation chemical detector. Ooh, that sounds nasty.
Oh.
Collins Aerospace, aviation combined arms, technical trainer. They build trainers to teach how to do things right.
Okay, yeah, simulators and stuff like
that. And this one is Abrams Main Battle Tank, Chinook Endurance unmanned aircraft system, lightweight
whoa, wait, they're making a Chinook-sized drone? Holy shit.
That's what it says. And they're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Can you imagine a Chinook? It doesn't need a pilot or any kind of anything else.
This is
bombs could that carry?
these people in Arlington, Virginia, common ground system, medical communications.
Well, a Chinook can carry a tank on a tether, can it? So how much ordnance could it take if it didn't have any people on board?
I know, huh? It's they probably got a trailer pulling behind that. Combat casual nuclear, biological, chemical reconnaissance vehicle.
That sounds like an detector.
So this is the guy who goes out when the bomb blows up to see if oh shit, I don't want that job.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it tells him before he gets to like the really lethal area.
Let's see. Oshi's got 6 contracts. Notable weapons, joint light tactical vehicles, enhanced heavy equipment transporter system, family of medium tactical vehicles. Okay, well, that could be any damn thing. Textron. I've actually been in one of their plants. Unmanned aircraft system, next generation squad weapons feature technology. Unmanned aircraft system. So this is for squadrons of unmanned aircraft.
Oh,
Jesus,
wow.
we're getting crazy.
No, I don't. I didn't read it that way. It sounded like it was for squadron tactics, so they would back up a human fighter and follow his plan.
Can you imagine a squadron of drones coming at your ass?
I would eject immediately. Boom.
That would be something, man. I'd find a nuclear fallout shelter with a freaking telescope and just watch it happen.
Yeah, just watch it happen. Huh? You better be on the moon, my friend. That's all I got to say. You better be on the moon. Sierra Nevada. Now, Sierra Nevada builds some interesting stuff that I know of. Enhanced medium altitude reconnaissance surveillance systems, integrated tactical network, common sensors. I don't know what these are, but since I know they put stuff in space, I'm thinking this has something to do with space. Boeing number of so Seattle, Nevada's got 7 contracts with the military. Oh, look, here's Boeing with 8. Apache attack helicopter, Avenger air defense system, Chinook maneuver short range air defense. I'm not sure what that is. That's also in Arlington.
The weapon system.
And it's Arlington, Virginia. Lidos DRS system has 12 contracts. Jesus, they make Boeing look like they ain't got nothing. Lightweight towed howitzers, subsistent tactical nuke, military bridging system.
Sounds like a computer.
That's what it sounds like. BAE system got 14 contracts. Aircrafts, survivability equipment, Bradley fighting vehicle, Hydra rocket system, unidentified command suit. Oh, they're in the UK.
Ooh, yeah.
We keep giving our services to the freaking UK. They can't even trust anybody in Facebook over there. Northrop Grumman. I know they got 16 contracts with Northrop Grumman. Army Integrated Air Missile Defense Forward Area Air Defense Command and Control Rocket Artillery Mortar. Okay.
That sounds like
a warning system.
Missile system.
Raytheon, I've heard about them too. 17 systems. Improved target acquisition system. Patriot Advanced Capability Land-Based Phalanx Weapon System. Indirect Fire Protection Capability. So that's blowing up drones is what that's for. Here's Lockheed Martin with 24 contracts. No wonder they took the F-22 away from them. Hellfire family of missiles, high mobility artillery rocket system, Patriot Advanced Capability counterfire radar Stinger block. What? Oh, so that shoots up and then bursts into a bunch of stuff, so it kills a bunch of other stuff. Well, that's interesting. That's crazy. Number 2 is L3 Harris Technologies with 26 contracts. Phoenix E-model ground satellite terminal, Apache attack helicopter, transportable technical command communications, and could be any damn thing. Oh, and they're not going to tell us who's number 1? Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, no, 1. General Dynamics. I should have known that.
Yeah.
31 contracts.
Jesus.
Air Missile Defense Planning and Control System, Abrams Main Battle Tank, Mortar Weapon Systems, Stryker Bridge Command Team, and assortment of missiles and rockets.
Plus, they make most of our submarine and naval assets as well.
So, still didn't tell me who was making pistols, little cocksuckers. Excuse my language, but yeah, I mean, that's serious. Well, they got images of all the different guns that we've used over the years. Well, look at this, these revolvers, man. That was back in the day. I mean, how long ago you got to go back to find a revolver? Colt New Army Navy revolver.
1860s, probably. By 1910, we were using automatics.
Look how cute some of these guns are. Rough Rider Steel Tungsten. Where'd that come from? Well, that's interesting. An automatic. So you can put your 9mm in a stand, click it back, and it'll pull the trigger and shoot for you. What the hell?
What?
Looks like something out of one of them sci-fi movies.
Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek probably.
It's no, it looks like something like maybe a Pluto Nash or something like that. It's oh, it won't let me in. Okay, well, bite me. How's that? So what is this thing? So yeah, you can mount it on the stand, set the trigger, pull it back, and this little gadget on the top pulls the trigger back once it starts, and it just shoots from the stand at whatever you aim it at. Yeah, well, okay, that's just crazy. You know, I like those bullets that supposedly go around corners and stuff.
Yeah.
Do they work? Do they work?
Yeah, they have been working. I know that much.
Isn't there a gun where the barrel can go around the corner?
Yeah, there is a gun.
Yes. Something they made in World War II. The Germans made it. Wasn't very successful.
So we found out that you can make a bullet curve like that, but you can't have it like it just switches. It'd have to be a curve, like a real curve, so like on a roller coaster or some kind of curve. It can't just be a sharp curve. It'll just blow out that part of the barrel. I think that was something they had to learn. But this is supposed to be a heat-seeking bullet. It's supposed to be a couple of new ones out there. They're leery about some stuff because heat-seeking bullets is all fine, but what happens if it picks up on one of your guys?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we know they've got the whatchamacallit from like what movie, from like the Terminator movie. We know they got the pack you can wear that makes you invisible. And it was 89 pounds for the battery. I think it's down to about 30 pounds now, but still, when you throw all your gear in there, it's 100 and something pounds you're toting around. You know, that's going to wear you down after a while. Yeah, Jesse, it just, you know, that kind of stuff wears on you. I mean, just one of those things. What do you mean? There's a shitload of guns. American guns, Turkish guns, Russian guns. We're not going to talk about Chinese guns because they're probably crap, but yeah, I mean, well, no, everybody gets their own guns, and I'm sure that the Chinese own a bunch of AK-47 since it's probably the best rifle ever made.
Well, they are called SKS, and it is Chinese made, and they are. If you can't buy an actual AK-47, or you can't afford one, the SKSs are a little bit more affordable. But if there's a handgun out there that any country's made, China has a copy of it. They make copies of the German Lugers we were talking about. They make copies of the British, or not the British, but the it's Austrian pistol, the broom-handled Mauser, which Churchill carried. So they make and sell both of those within their country.
It's that's the thing. I mean, they make so many weapons, and you know, Turkey makes some pretty good guns. Even though that pistol I bought from it is very tight, you can't shoot a low round. Can't have a low round in it. It's got to have a higher power bullet in it.
What's the company that makes the P90? I think they're over in Europe too. They make some nice weapons, armor piercing bullets and stuff. They're nice.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff you can get your hands on, people. I don't know. No, guns are bad. I don't own any guns. No, The guys were lying to you. I don't own any guns. Speaking of that, where's the one? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh no, I was looking at the dog. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey ZS Dragon, how you doing? I don't own any guns. Guns are bad. They're evil. Yes, they do bad things to people. Well, they don't. The people do, but still.
I don't know. I'm not convinced that guns don't just get up off the shelf and decide to go out one day and start shooting people. I think somebody has it on video somewhere.
I'm sure some Democrat does.
Yeah.
What was that? No, I did make a comment about no, because you see a lot of them screaming blue-haired, pink-haired liberals, just screaming at the. I have heard so much about Epstein, but then nothing about Trump, so they're just losing their mind. Don't ask me, my friend. They're losing their mind.
But I mean, and the real thing is why are these people so interested in the Epstein files being released? Are they interested in finding out, which leaders and important rich people are in there having
somebody
sex with underage
told them
kids? Or
the
are they want
Democrat.
to hear the details of what happened to these underage victims?
No, they don't want none of that. They thought that Trump for sure was on the list, and that's the only way they could destroy Trump. If they were interested in the list, they know Bill Clinton's on the list. I've not heard one reporter yet ask if Bill Clinton was on that list.
Nope, not me neither.
So the girl the other night feels the need. We played the clip last night. Oh, well, I have to ask because of the thing around Trump. No, there was no thing about Trump. That's you, lady.
Yep.
And they said no. And not just they said no. The judges said no. The lawyer said no. The girlfriend said no. It's just getting aggravated. So I don't know why liberals can't let go. Then somebody puts this Jennifer whoever up. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, if you can prove what you're saying on this list, I said, I'll put it all over my network. I said, but so far, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit. And Peter Robbins writes this, oh, he's such a, I said, you calling somebody a pedophile you don't even know. I said, you have TDS. I said, because you can't prove he's a pedophile. And the man has kids, daughters and granddaughters. I said, I'm telling you, it's not the kind of guy he is. But if y'all want to go there, I said, you're just hating now for the fact of hating because you lost. You lost the election. You lost everything. And now you can't even win this. And I still have not heard one Democrat answer me why for 4 years no one said anything about this while Joe Biden was president. I mean, he had the auto pen. Everybody could have got the secrets out. But for some reason, they didn't even talk about it. So now they're starting to show pictures of Trump with all these other leaders like Oprah Winfrey and all these other people. So, well, you know what? If I was there, they were there. So now the press is going to have to back off or find themselves in shit with a bunch of people. Because they must have had 50 pictures up with him and Oprah saying how great a man he was and he should run for president. She was all but giving a man a blowjob. I think she would have gave one if he'd have let her. And there's a bunch of other ones that are all up Trump's ass. So I'm like, we're going to start talking about all these people now? I'm more interested in, I've heard two people talk about Bill Clinton. I want to ask the question, well, what about Bill? Because Democrats can't ask that because then it'll become all about Bill and no one else. It'll be the rest of their party will be done. It's bad enough this Obama stuff is dragging them down. This would just destroy the rest of their party.
Well, I think something else might also this just I don't know when this was taken, but I found it. At least I found a clue to it on Facebook this afternoon. And we haven't taken a break, so how about we take a quick 4 minutes and we listen to this guy speak real quick, and then we come back and talk about it.
Okay, well, we still got a couple promos, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you can run promos after. That's fine. Yeah, or run before. I don't care either way.
Go ahead,
let me get that up here. All right, are we ready?
What's your feeling about President-elect Donald Trump?
I had not thought of President Trump as a presidential candidate until he became a presidential candidate. And in the first appearances, I thought it was a transitory phenomenon. But I give him huge credit for having analyzed an aspect of the American situation, developed a strategy, carry it out against his leadership of his own party, and prevailing. Now his challenge is to apply that same skill to the international situation.
You told Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic that with Donald Trump, it could create opportunity, but also serious dislocation. What's your assessment now of that?
Donald Trump is a phenomenon that foreign countries haven't seen. So it is a shocking experience to them that he came into office. At the same time, extraordinary opportunity. And I believe he has the possibility of going down in history as a very considerable president, because every country now has two things to consider. One, their perception that the previous president or the outgoing president basically withdrew America from international politics, so that they had to make their own assessments of their necessities. And secondly, that here is a new president who is asking a lot of unfamiliar questions. And because of the combination of the partial vacuum and the new questions, one could imagine that something remarkable and new emerges out of it. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it's an extraordinary opportunity.
Do you have a sense of what his emerging foreign policy vision is?
I think he operates by a kind of instinct that it's a different form of analysis. That's my more academic one. But he's raised a number of issues that I think are important, very important. And if they're addressed properly, could lead to great results.
You've advised presidents. One of the things that voters have said about Donald Trump, since he has no government experience, is that he'll be able to surround himself with good advisors. Is that really possible?
The president has to have some core convictions. He can't get those from advisors. But he also cannot possibly know everything. It's in the nature of the presidency that most of the people you meet want something. So to get objective advice is hard, but that depends very much on the personality of the president.
What advice would you give incoming President Trump about advisors, about being the president in these times?
One of the hardest things for a president is to distinguish the routine issues that come through from the essential issues that affect the long term, and not to let himself get sucked into the battles of the bureaucracy for marginal issues, and to keep them focused and to keep his mind clear on what the fundamental things are that he has to accomplish.
Dr. Kissinger, thank you so much.
I can't get hard, not even with the blue.
What? Oh
my God. Blue pill stuff. You can't be advertising that blue pill stuff now.
I got there just a second late.
Okay. I'd have to want my cut in that. It's that's Harry Kissinger is always interesting. And see, he had nothing good but just stuff to say about Trump. And he's advised how many presidents? Jeez, he's up there.
Well, he was in office from 73 to 77 with one president. So 73 to, gosh, he was even in office in 2005 as the chancellor of William and Mary College in Virginia. Very active dude. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
U.S. military service, 43 to 46. He was in the war.
It's just nice to see people like that come out and say nice things, and which none of the media would play that back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, that was from, I look back, that was from December 6, 2016, his first campaign, his first presidency. But he had nothing but, relatively nice things to say about the guy. But I never heard of that interview until yesterday or this afternoon. This afternoon.
And that's the thing. All that was kept, we can't let people hear people saying good things about it. Not Harry Kissinger. He can't say nothing.
Not just anybody. A distinguished, reputable, albeit I think he's Republican, political entity.
It was kind of sad. It was kind of sad. What do you mean? So, I've been learning more and more about the Ukrainian war. So there was some stuff I didn't know before. So,
such as?
Well, first off, the U.S. and the Ukraine had made a pact about 2 years before this war started about how they were going to do something and how they were going to set the protocols to get the Ukraine into NATO by 2030.
Huh.
Also, the Ukraine had took 60 to 80,000 troops and moved them south because they wanted to retake Crimea.
Well, it was taken from them 4 years ago.
And then they found out that the U.S. and Britain had had shown the Ukrainians how to run what they call spy huts. They put 14 of them up along the border. So we had the Ukrainians spying in the Russia force.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this was before the war started. So when Trump said that the war started over Ukraine, he might have been right. So the more evidence I find, it seems like that it may have been the Ukraine that was the aggressor, not Russia.
How?
Because they were trying to take Crimea back, which was now a Russian territory.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So
not just that, they were spying on the Russians.
But if you look at it from the Ukrainian viewpoint, it's not Russian territory. It's, illegally gotten gains in Ukrainian territory. So devil's advocate, I guess, over there.
No, it's not Ukrainian territory anymore because they don't own it. It's whoever, how's it work? 9/10 of the law. Possession is
9/10 of the law. However, the land was stolen directly under the eyes and gaze.
The Russians can say that. The Russians can say that because Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, used to be.
But that's my point. The Crimea used to be part of the Ukraine.
Yes.
So technically, if Russia
access ports.
So technically, Russia could say, "Hey, no, the Ukraine actually belongs to us," just like the Chinese do with Taiwan.
Yeah, or Hong Kong. Now.
Well, we gave them Hong Kong back. That was so stupid.
Well, that wasn't our decision. That was the British Crown's decision.
That's what I said. That was so stupid by the Brits. There was so much technology given back. That little handoff to them brought China up 70 years.
We brought them. We'll have brought them almost square with everybody else to this, modern technologies.
It was just wrong on the Brits' part. They should have said, "Yeah, you know what? First, we got to level the place, and then you can have it back."
Yeah.
And I would have said, we can't actually let you have it back.
Fairly dense populated city. How are they going to level it with the 8 or 9 or 10 million people that live there?
Well, sometimes shit happens. Nuclear bombs fall out the sky sometimes.
Sewer systems cave in, shit.
Even been that, they should have just told China, "No, we're going to keep it, but we're going to pay you for it," and come up with a price.
We have been paying it. Well, they paid for it anyway, weren't they?
Yeah,
paying for it?
But I mean, pay it to own it outright. Say, because we can't give it back to you because the technology is involved. It's an unfair advantage to all of the nations around you. Yeah. So we can't do it. I'm sorry. And as long as the U.S. and the UN backed them, just nothing China could have done about it. And China would still be 50 years behind everybody right now. But we're our own worst enemy. It's like giving the money to Iran. We're going to give what was it? $4 billion we gave to Iran in 10 different currencies.
Not just them, Pakistan.
But I'm talking about cash money on pallets. We've never done that before. Not that's ever been made public.
Not in so much of a sense, but we do give money to people that would I would consider our nation's enemies, like Afghanistan, Pakistan, any country with ISTAN at the end of it. Pretty much, we give away. Our country gives away taxpayers' money to foreign national countries all the time. Maybe not now since Trump's back in order, but in the years past. Why? Why is the U.S. government giving my money to another country? And it's not always for good reasons.
But even those were bank transfers for a reason.
Yeah.
When you give somebody
$50,000 for condom.
No, it's not. You're missing the point. There was no cash money. Nobody flew in untraceable money there.
That's true. Yes.
This money was still traceable. The money we gave
not
to
hard
Iran
cash,
was
but they're still giving
untraceable.
away cash.
And not just that, it was 10 different currencies. So I mean, they had money. They could just be giving it out to the different. And you could tell within a year that happening, all the terrorist groups out there had double, tripled, even quadrupled in size.
Well, October 7th. October 7th would not have happened if that money and that equipment hadn't been left behind.
It's just. But I mean, well, no, that was more about Obama's money going to Iran caused that. The Afghanis didn't really share that money. They're not.
No, but still, I mean, I said it.
That was Obama's.
We were on the shows when that happened. I said it. That money's going to go and fuel terrorist attacks in the region, and that's what is happening.
But that most of the money we're talking about causing terrorism is the money Obama gave them, not the money they got from Afghanistan. That money actually.
Oh, come on, $4 million. What was it? $4 billion in four crates.
That was the Iranian money. That wasn't the Afghanistan money.
Still, though, that helped out a lot. Who owns the 7 terrorist organizations that are in conflict?
That's
right now?
Iran. That's what I'm saying. That's who we gave the money to. We gave them. We
like
just
said,
out of the blue, we gave them back equipment, and then we said, you know what, we're going to pay you cash. We were buying hostages, is what we were doing. We're going to pay you cash money, and you're going to give us this back. That's what we did, which, by the way, is illegal for the United States to pay cash money to an organization like that, and it's illegal for us to pay for hostages.
We're not even supposed to negotiate with terrorists, which we consider the state of Iran as a terrorist state, not a legitimate country.
We loaded up 4
Palestine.
pallets.
It's not a legitimate country.
4 pallets full of money and shipped them to Iran, cash money. I wonder what they had on Obama.
Well, he sure isn't making a lot of noise anymore. He was for a while. He and Trump had a few little exchanges there a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, but you don't hear about Obama's.
Between the Epstein list and the Russia thing, he should just shut up.
Let me see what I can find out.
Because he should just shut the hell up is what he should do. What's that, Jackie? No, I mean Obama didn't think he was going to ever get caught. They thought they were going to be Democrats forever.
Mm-hmm.
And look what they did. And look what they did to Trump, trying to make sure that they didn't get in any trouble.
Obama's not so interested in breaking bread with Kamala Harris. That's from the National Review. It's one of their headlines. Michelle Obama reveals what sealed the deal in Barack relationship. The fact that you wore a jockstrap too. Let's see what else. That's it. That's the only two. I just typed in President Obama. Those are and then I hit news. Those are the 2 things at the top. Then it goes right on to Trump.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about Obama at all if they can help themselves. No, Jesse Lou, they don't want to talk about him at all because he's negative light for them. Black people don't like him anymore.
Creek too. If things go the wrong way, he could be facing court and or jail time as well.
So the Pam Bondi the other day, and several attorneys now said that he is not from trial, from going to prison. His immunity from the being president does not count. What he was doing exceeded being president. And somebody says, well, it's 5 years. Well, it's not even been 5 years since he did that. He said, but more importantly, they consider it a conspiracy, which doesn't have an end date on it.
If there's more than one involved person, there is no statute of limitations for most crimes.
As long as someone's still lying, it's still a conspiracy. And obviously, there's several people lying. So
Mm-hmm.
So I think what they're going to do with Obama is I think they're going to offer Obama and say, look, dude, we got you. You committed treason. We can put you in the Who Scout. What I think they're going to do is say, look, just give us Comey, Clapper, and Brennan, and maybe a couple of others, and you can be the witness.
Trap shut. Yeah.
And you can be the witness, and we'll say that they did it on their own without you saying okay, and they'll go to jail and you won't. And you can even keep your lecture tour there. If not, Pam Bondi says she has no problem putting him in jail, none whatsoever. So I said, you got the District Attorney of the United States.
Let me understand this though. I as far as I think it works, if it is treason, he doesn't go to some regular old Who Scout. He goes to Leavenworth, Kansas, and then at some point, after at least 90 days, he would be executed by a firing squad of 7.
He could be executed. Yes,
could be, would be. No, the type.
No, because you got to give him. Which I forgot what you call it, but you got to give him time to do appeals. It's got to be able to run through the whole court.
The time they give you for that is 90 days. I mean, this is
no, it's not the way it works. It's got to be able to go through the whole court system. So it would have to go to the appellate courts, which would probably take a year. Then it has to go to the,
after the last court, he has 90 days to form the
appeal.
Yeah,
once it goes in front of the Supreme Court and they say too bad, he's got 90 days. Yeah. He's done. He's over with. They'll shoot him, and they don't like overcrowded prisons. Treason's treason, people. Treason, unfortunately, is punishable by death. The president could give him a pardon or a stay. That would be within the president's right to do so. But killing Barack is not.
And the way they do the executions, they do it in a way that they think it's most best for those who are doing the shooting, not so much for the one who's being shot, because they don't expect them to live. So they take 7 soldiers that are expert riflemen. They give them, I think, 2 bullets each. Only 3 of the of the bullets overall are live. All the other bullets are false or blanks. But the soldiers don't know which of the bullets are live and which ones aren't. And when they say fire, they get 7 bullets at the target. 3 of them are real. And by doing that, unless they're very, very good, most of them won't know if the bullet came from their gun or not.
Yes, and a lot of them don't even give you 3; they give you 1.
Well, no, but if he doesn't go down with the first volley, it's up to 3 volleys they're going to shoot at the target.
Oh yeah.
But in any event, they do it in such a way that spreading the soldiers out, about 10 feet apart each, and if you spread the live bullet rounds throughout those 7 people accurately, even the best sniper shooter in that group is not going to know if his bullet was the one or not.
They do that to protect the shooters.
Yeah.
So they don't. It's not on their conscience. So you can go to.
Yeah, they're performing a service for the state and not working in war.
Well, no, you're thinking of state things. The Fed's different when they execute somebody.
A Leavenworth execution is a federal military execution.
And since he was commander in chief, he would be shot.
He'd be federally murderized.
He'd be shot. Well, no, so if you're in states, you can get the electric chair, you can get gas, you can get all sorts of stuff.
Okay, I have a question to ask you guys. If you were in that predicament and they said, well, which way would you want to go? What would you choose?
Oh, I would fry the 300 the guys underneath me in a heartbeat if I was going to be able to stay alive. You betcha. And if that's what happens if that's what they offer Obama, I guarantee you, I mean, you won't hear from him ever again, but he'll take that deal because he's either going to jail or someone else is. Either he or
no,
they
that's
all.
not what I'm, Jay. That's not what I'm saying, buddy. If you had a choice between the electric chair, the gas chamber, or a firing squad, which one would you take?
I'd probably take by firing squad because they generally aim for either the head or the heart, so it's instantaneous, almost instantaneous. Whereas electric chair, you usually aren't dead until the 3rd injection of electricity. Your eyes boil at least on the first one, if not definitely on the second one, and most of the hair on your body is burnt away. Plus, even if you aren't if your hair doesn't burn away, they shave a good bit of it off so that they have certain connection points at your ankles, wrists, and the top of your head. So I definitely don't want to be electrocuted because your body is marked beyond open grave situations. Same with the firing squad. So it seems like those are the two worst choices. I would take a firing squad.
How about you, Joe?
I'd probably go with the firing squad.
I would go with the firing squad too.
A lot of people say the gas chamber is the way to go, but
no.
If you're choking and vomiting and retching for that's probably the only way to go.
No, the new stuff doesn't work like that. The new stuff puts you to sleep, and you just as you're breathing, you go away.
Well, and that's what lethal injection is like. That's like they do with the cat or a dog. They put you unconscious first, then they put the poison in you.
Yeah, so that's a little more humane. So, but I think I'd still go with the firing squad.
Yeah, if lethal injection isn't on the table, firing squad.
It's well, people, you're gonna feel it for a minute or two. Your brain's alive for a few seconds, no matter what. So, well, that's like when people used to get their heads lopped off back in the day. A lot of times they could see their body as their head was falling to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for at least anywhere from a few seconds up to 6 minutes.
It just depends. It's just one of the things.
Yeah. After about 7 or 10 minutes without oxygen and regular flow of blood, the brain will cease to function.
Well, I remember one of the states wanted to do vivisection as the way you died. Vivisection is horrible, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But
what is it? What is it, Joe?
It's called
vivisection. Is you are cut open while you are alive without any kind of sedatives or knockout pills.
No.
And they slowly remove pieces from your body in such a way that you don't die immediately.
Yeah, they do it until you perish. It's kind of like drawn and quartering in the William Wallace era. The drawn and quartering was what they would have done to him is tied his wrists and ankles to an animal or a beast of burden and had the animals walking away. And while they were doing that, a priest would come by with a sickle and open up the bowels and take them out very slowly and then cut them out of the person. And then, well, that's not even the worst of it. And then a true draw and quartering is they would lop you off at the shoulders, the hips, and the head. And they would say with William Wallace, and that's what they did to William Wallace. They cut him off at the ankles. I mean, not the ankles. They cut off all 4 of his limbs and then his head. So there's that 5 things in his body, and they drifted his pieces throughout the 4 parts of the region: north, south, east, and west. I think his head went north, his body went south, his arms went east, and his legs went west. They fucked that poor man up, and in a public display, by the way.
Yeah.
Children were watching.
That's why they wanted to do the vivisection. They said that it would deter people from doing heinous crimes, knowing that was going to happen to them.
Yes.
It was, but
that was the feeling of the day. I mean, in King Edward I's day, that's how rebel rousers were dealt with. You were drawn and quartered in public view of the entire city of London, and anybody who wanted to come from outside of London to visit and watch.
Didn't the Vikings use something called the Blood Eagle or something?
I don't know much about Viking lore. You don't want to ask Jeffrey Pritchett about that.
Yeah, they used to take the lungs out. I think cut up and down their back, and then take the lungs out while they were still alive.
Oh, if you think that's bad, you should hear what actual harikiri or seppuku, ritual Japanese suicide. What that ritual is like. You wouldn't like that at all. It has all of those aspects we just talked about, but you do it by yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you never heard of that? It's really it's a messed up situation.
Yeah, it really depends on your clan. That's another thing how that goes.
Well, not for seppuku. Seppuku and harikiri, the ritual suicide for the Japanese, if they were forced to do it, the samurai would do it, whether he liked it or not. And what was generally happened was they would slice their wrists, they would slice across the top of their forehead, and then they would take their small knife, the tanto, and jab it into their left hip and go up to the right rib cage and then left and up into the heart cavity, and then they would spill their guts. And their buddies would watch them do this, and if their buddies thought they did that quickly and with honor or without hesitation, their buddy would end their sorrow immediately by lopping off their head. And then that way they died dishonorably with honor. it's a messed up situation, but that is the ritual.
Whoa, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
Don't you glad we live in a civilized world, man?
Thank God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Hey.
or aren't you glad that Japan didn't win World War II, because that might have come back?
I love Jay, man. Your brain, it's just like when it comes to bombs, airplanes, weapons.
He likes killing people, man. What can we say?
Oh, yeah, man.
He's a killer, man.
I mean, look, I was
He'll be one of the guys out there when the zombie
although I
apocalypse
know how to
comes.
play most sports, I didn't play any sports, professionally, not with any like high schools or, my brother played golf with the high school team. He lettered, I didn't. But I'm an adept at almost every sport out there. I mean, and by adept, I mean I'm good enough to be a team member, and maybe not the key player, but enough to help key players win. And there isn't a weapon that I haven't studied or know the history of. And if I don't know the history of that weapon, I can pretty much guess the region it came from and what its name and purpose might be. And just because I've just studied books, and when I was bored, I would look at things like encyclopedias and stupid shit like that.
You've had some really good shows on the Arthur's Quill, because we've had weapons experts on. Poor John. The first time we did, I thought John was just going to pass out. Because actually, 40 minutes in, he was bored to all hell and back. I mean,
He
we were
doesn't like weapons. Yeah.
Well, and we were getting into manufacturing, how the weapons work, what you could expect from each weapon. I mean, it was pretty in depth. The guy is I forgot what he was now, but he's got a couple of these manuals he's written for guns. He's really good. He knows his shit.
I would absolutely, if anyone asks, I'd tell them I'm 100% a weapons expert. I mean, I would not have trouble. You show me a picture of a type of weapon that was, a real weapon, not some video game bullshit thing, but a real weapon that was made by anyone on planet Earth. And I can guess to you which region it came from and the name of it. And I might even know the full history of it. I've studied a lot of weapons. I'm particularly fond of naval equipment, submarines in particular. In the 80s, I built the USS Los Angeles, our LA attack sub. I don't remember its number, but it was something like 587 or 584, or something around that.
They what do you mean acorns? Oh, you mean what could I kill you with? Lots of things. Besides a gun or a knife, yeah, lots of things. Why?
Anything that's not considered a weapon, if it's in my hands, I can hurt you really bad with it. A good story in Montgomery County, Maryland. One of our Montgomery County officers pulled over a car that had just been stolen, freshly stolen, so it hadn't really gone over any wires yet. But it was a stolen car, and the operator of the car had a handgun on the armrest of the door. And when the officer caught up there, the guy grabbed the gun, and the officer had in his hand, he had in his left hand, he had his ticket book, and in his right hand, he had his 4D cell Maglite flashlight. The guy pointed his gun at him, and the officer had two choices: drop and draw, or hit. Well, the officer hit the guy with his flashlight and killed him. And
yeah, them flashlights are badass, man. I had one of those.
He was later sued by the family for wrongful death, and guess what? The officer won because the judge determined that the officer's life was in danger and he was in fear of his life. So anything in his hand could be a weapon, and if he wanted to, he could have killed him with the ticket book. And I thought that was a great win for good police officers.
Well, cops are not supposed to be able to be sued, so they're trying to change those laws.
Not criminally, but civil suits can be taken up as wrongful death. Yes.
Yeah, anybody can be sued civilly. Jeffrey, civilly just means that it's in the public. It's not a criminal.
Now,
thing.
if the department after this incident, if the department determined that officer acted incorrectly, then yes, he could have gone onto a full-on state murder trial. But he was not in the wrong.
These kind of cases, that's not what happens.
Yeah.
To Mars, I don't know. Elon's constantly building. I mean, every time I turn around, he's putting satellites in space, beginning to make me worry.
And I think he keeps on hinting onto some sort of drive he has that's proven, but he hasn't built a ship around it that can handle the
Hey guys, I gotta go. I got an emergency. Okay.
Take care,
Sean.
All right, bye.
Take care.
All right. Okay. I wonder what that was. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, maybe mom needs something.
Yeah, shit happens sometimes. No, you can use Pal Talk. Yeah. No, I mean, you can use YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, if you use YouTube, I can see it. If you use only the Facebook Messenger, I don't always see those because some of those only go to Joe.
Yeah. Oh, and they're on Pal Talk right now.
If they're on Pal Talk, I'm definitely not going to see them because I haven't been on Pal Talk in what? When did we leave Pal Talk? 6 years ago?
It's been a long time.
8 years, 10 years ago, a long time ago. I've
I'm
done it
a-
for 10 years, so we had to have done it for at least a couple of years. We'd only done StreamYard for at least the last 6, probably.
You know what? Somebody asked me how I did that the other day. I said I couldn't even tell you how we did that. So that was some finagling of technology, babe.
I would call Jeff, and then me, and Jeff, and the guest would be on a conference call, and then you would start the radio. It was, and then we had Pal Talk. It was neat, fun, but now I don't have to hold a phone to my ear the whole time. Is even better.
That's a plus. No, Sherry, we're looking for hosts for this show. We're looking for 2 or 3 hosts.
Yes, please.
Email in there.
You know your shit. Apply.
Just for this show, you just have to have a well-rounded education. I mean, just know a lot about a lot of different stuff. Yes, because we don't never talk about just one thing. I mean, we've already talked about seven topics tonight. Well, you're not going to be an expert in every topic. You're not even going to hear all of us talk about every topic.
Yeah, none of us. We were not expert on everything.
It's going to just switch between hosts.
Yeah, Joe and I just happened to share a shit ton of things that we are experts on or have looked at quite extensively.
Yeah, have been involved in.
The best example is hardware and construction. I haven't worked in construction, but I've worked in a construction tool company for like 10 years. Going on 10, a little more than 10 years now. I work on the distribution side of it. I don't work on the store side of it, but we both know hardware very well. And anyone that would refuse our advice would be ill thought of. Yeah.
Actually, Amelia sent me some stuff, but I don't think I have it on here. That's on my other. For some reason,
kind of stuff?
Well, some decent links, but for some reason, it's not letting me use my Facebook on this computer.
Try a different. Oh yeah, it's because your browser probably. You're not on a Chrome browser, are you?
It'll let me use it. Well, it'll let me use it on Microsoft Edge, but it won't let me do it on Chrome. I don't know why. It wants a code.
It's not. It's on 2 different browsers.
It wants. Yeah, but it wants all the codes and all. I'm like, no, I've already been on here. What the hell?
Well, instead of doing so try on the hold on a second. What is the window called on share screen? It's so there should be. It'll say Chrome tab, window, or entire screen. Go under window and you might see that thing. Try that.
Wait, hold on. Now I'm doing something.
I do that sometimes when I open up a picture that I have on my hard drive. I just go to.
Well, it's supposed to allow you to change which one you want to use. Wait, hold
That's
on.
what I'm saying. You got to hit the share button, and you'll see on the top. There's it'll say current tab or Chrome tab, current window or any window. Try that. See if you find it.
No, that's all fine, but that don't always work the same. But there's a place in there where you can switch between Chrome and Windows.
I don't know on StreamYard.
Yeah,
maybe settings.
Yeah, because I've used it before. I've used just
general resolution orientation.
But I don't know if you can do it. I think you got to do it at the beginning. Okay. Yeah, I think you got to do it at the beginning. It's somewhere at the start or somewhere because I've used it before. It allows you to switch in that little box, you bring up to do everything in.
Yeah.
It allows you to switch between it, but I think you have to be at the start or something. Or before you start, because I remember Michelle and I were doing something one afternoon, and I ran across it by accident. And
yeah, I'm looking under settings right now. Why would it be under audio? I don't know. Here about
visual.
Yeah,
because I mean, when you're running up here, I mean, you get the entire screen, which you can share the entire screen.
Oh,
you can do your Chrome, you can share the Windows. But when you share Windows, you don't get audio.
Look at that.
No,
I don't like that. All that motion blur.
So he allowed to be playing with stuff.
I got it. Well, no, that's our banner, and I don't know how that happened. It's just like in the settings. Oh, look, we could do comedy night.
Oh yeah, they got lots of those in there. And actually, they work even better if you got like one of those little
Pool
green,
hall?
them little round green.
Oh, there's
screens.
Joe's setup. which computer screen are you looking at now? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Look at this one, Joe.
Yeah, that's in there. I've used that.
Spooky.
Like I said, it works better if you've got a little round green screen behind you in your chair.
Look. Scooby Doo. Oh wait, that's not Scooby Doo. I didn't see those guys. Is that Scooby Doo? There's Scooby Doo, maybe. Okay.
Ooh.
Cool. I
It's
didn't know
in
they
it.
had all this shit in here.
Yeah, they got
Let's
all that
see.
stuff in it. So
All
you
right.
can
So how do
use
we
the
do? Oh,
background.
none. Oh, blur the background. We want to do that.
Yeah, you can blur the background. You can.
Yeah.
It's
Cheesy. I
It's
have
a
a
cool.
green screen.
It's a
Oh,
cool
that would be
feature.
cool. I'm going to get one.
Yeah, they sell
Enhanced
those
skin
little
appearance.
ones.
All right,
that
all right,
cool-
watch this. All right, enhanced skin appearance. I'm going to click the button. You tell me it's any better. It's going. Any better? No. I don't see any difference. Why turn it on?
Okay, Jay's on the drugs again, people. Well, I don't know what to tell y'all.
I'm looking for the setting you're talking about. I don't see anything like that.
Yeah, no, it would have been in the plus screen settings. So it's got to be something you started in the beginning
Yeah, maybe you know what it's called. I don't see it.
because it allows you to. Well, how did this happen? Well, this is interesting. I got to take a picture of this while I got it like this. Where oh where has the little dog gone? Probably eating my ham sandwich, a little hussy. She likes to eat daddy's ham sandwiches. Depends which one I'm talking about, though. Okay, let's see. All right, that's good. Let's see. There's lots of visual effects in there. There's lots of stuff to play with. There's all kind, the UFO picking you up and stuff. Oh shit, man!
What?
The UFO is trying to pick me up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I was on another screen. I just backed over here. I see. Yeah, I didn't see that one. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh man, another UFO out there. Oh wait, here's a ghosty. Hey man, here's a ghosty with a lightsaber.
That's some dude with a damn Mexican hoodie and a lightsaber.
Let's see. Oh no, what's this blue thing in the background staying back there? Oh, it's my lightsaber.
It's your lightsaber.
Yes, it's not even on and it's doing it. Well, let's turn it on and see what happens. Yes, people, we're retards. Just ignore us. Well, man, I got now I ain't doing anything. Oh, wait.
Well, when you get near it, it comes on a little because of the blur effect.
Let's see. Yeah. It's like the Matrix. There's another world on here. Oh, look, it's cracking into another world. Let's see.
Oh, look. No, that's not the Death Star. Ooh, what's that? No.
You're dead.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Woo. Okay, that's just weird.
Yeah, same thing here. Oh, when it gets in front of me. Hey, look at that. You can. All right, that's cool. Enough fun with that.
No, we just landed somewhere. Okay, where the hell's regular on this thing? There we go. 9.
Did you see that video that went around Facebook yesterday or Friday even of something hitting the moon during the daytime, like a meteor?
Yeah, I actually do think I remember seeing that the other day.
It was pretty huge, but nobody really said anything about it. You would think all the big news services would have carried at least for, a human interest story towards the end of the programming, but no. I couldn't get it to play big enough because it was only like, a little tiny like cell phone thingy. but they have it on Facebook. If you can find it on somewhere that you can blow it up, it looked like the impact was significant enough that there was significant heat.
I seen something, but it didn't seem to last long, and I don't think they had the whole view up there either. To be honest with you.
No, this one kind of did. It was like the view of the moon was like this, and the thing comes in, and it's very small. It's like you would call it a dust particle in the perspective, but when it hits the moon, there's a big puff of moon dust that flies off, and then there's also, it looks like it was taken by infrared footage, and it looks like there's a heat bloom at the center of when it impacts the moon. So whatever it did, whatever hit the meteorite, it was large enough to create a thermal explosion. So
they say it hits them all the time. I have seen
look at the pockmarks on it.
But I mean, I've seen other videos of when it got hit, and they showed one where it was 3, bam, 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 right behind each other.
Well, what about one of those like 17 or whatever, 21 pieces, whatever it was that hit Jupiter?
Oh, the
Shoemaker Levy
comet
fragments. Yeah. Yes,
the pearls they call them. It
was something we were waiting for a while, because the Shoemaker Levy comet came by like in between the rings and the planet of Saturn, and then it broke up. And then when it came back around, that's when those 17 particles were captured by the inner gravity of Jupiter, and just.
And that's when we learned how good of a vacuum cleaner Jupiter really is. It's humans realize, oh shit, it does keep the galaxy clean.
Jupiter, there's no people.
Yes, Jupiter and Saturn do a lot of cleaning up. A lot of those moons you see would have just been rogue floating around. We might have had 2 or 3 moons in this damn planet.
There are 300 planet-sized, larger than planet Earth-sized things around just Saturn and Jupiter alone. More than 300.
Well, we're going to find out if there's life on any of them. There may be. There may be atmospheres.
If not now,
we don't know.
soon, if not, ever, there maybe in the past. I think we'll find that out about Mars, maybe more than another.
There's about 5. Well, Sirius, whatever they think there is, they think there's something alive on there.
And Ceres, CERES. It's in the asteroid belt. It's a very, very large remnant.
Just a monster. That's the one they said that. Yeah, they keep saying it. It's creating extraterrestrial life. Well, I guess we'll find out when we get there. But then
it's just generating its own light. It is quite possible that some sort of chlorophyllc reaction happened.
And then there's 3 or 4 moons that have ice on them or water on them. We're pretty sure we're going to find life on those.
Io is one of them. No, Io is
Io's a volcano one, isn't it?
Volcanic one, yeah.
Yeah, but they haven't ruled out finding life on there. Matter of fact, they haven't ruled out finding life on Pluto or Chiron.
The way we were taught in school is, how did Earth get its atmosphere and its water? And the answer is, being like Io, being geoactively volcanic. Like that meaning the entire planet being all the volcanoes going off all at once most of the time. That's how we got water in the atmosphere. That's how we got atmosphere in the atmosphere, and that's how we got eventually life, because they believe the amino acids were also ejected from these planet-wide volcanic spurts,
or from giant meteors slamming into them,
or perhaps a combination of both.
Jackie, we get 2 inches of water every year, like clockwork. Yeah, it might even be a little bit more than that now. That's just some shit falling in from the atmosphere. 2 inches a year. I always thought they meant that enough debris was falling and it was just raising it 2 inches, but no, they're serious. We get 2 inches of water a year. Oh, I'm sure there's multiple ways it gets here. And then, back in the old days, I mean, we know the whole Oort cloud is just one big ice ball, basically, a bunch of ice balls. At one time, all that stuff was in the inner solar system, so we probably got a lot of water from there as well.
Whatever it is the lightest materials known, more than likely, and almost all of them are frozen in their purest mineral state, more than likely, because the Oort cloud is probably the extent of the event horizon of Sol exploding and then creating summary accretion disks, which created the then now planets we are sitting on.
What do you mean, Jack? No, we won't know until we get out there. Well, no, something when they went through Pluto last time, they're thinking there may be life on Pluto. There might even be liquid on Pluto.
Perhaps frozen, but liquid, never the same.
Well, they're thinking underneath the ice sheet. So people forget ice is a great insulator.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So if you've got heat underneath it, it could be creating quite a lot of liquid.
It's also a great magnifier. So if there were an under the ice sheet, tropical rainforest in Antarctica, it could very easily absorb light through the clear ice layer above it, enough so that any plant life would be nice and green and lush and tropical foresty like.
On one of them, they dropped a probe down to the ice, and on the way down, it seemed what could only be comparative of a whale swimming under the ice. When you seen it, it's big and black, and it looked like it humped as it got close to the surface. It looked like it came over and dived in, like it seen this thing coming down and was coming up to the surface to see what it was. That shows intelligence. Doesn't show what layer of intelligence, but it does show intelligence. So something under the water seen this probe coming down and brought itself up closer to the surface to see it, just enough that we could see it dive back down. And it looked big. It looked at least sperm whale size. Well, the whole planet's frozen.
Do you have that video? Show it.
That NASA, they don't know what it is. At first, they said maybe some kind of rock or something floating. Then they're like, well, it's a rock. Rocks don't really float.
What planet was it? Or what moon was it?
I forgot what moon it was. I think it was one started with a T. No, I forget now. It's been a long time.
Jupiter or Saturn moon?
Hell, if I remember, I'll just remember it was one of the moons. No, I can't. It's going right out of my head. I can almost see the name. No, I was going to say Tetris, but that's a game. That's not a name. Yes, people, it's a game, not a name. Titan, is that the one it was? Was it Titan? Or was it Titan? Another one.
Strong evidence. Jupiter's moon, Europa, has a saltwater ocean.
There might have been Europa.
Maybe one of the best places to look for environments where life could exist beyond Earth. So it must have been that one.
Yeah, Titan's another one of those volcanic moons. Yeah, no, Europa's a water moon. They're positive that there's liquid water below the ice. They don't even argue about that anymore. And since James Webb, they're pretty popular as liquid underneath there.
And they're pretty sure that the liquid is salt water in nature, which would make it very possible to be something of the order of our sea, which has abundant life on all levels. Abundant life, all levels. It's 8 miles down and 1 foot underneath the surface. That's how abundant there is life on this. There's more life on planet Earth under the ocean than there is walking the ground.
Yeah. Well, the ocean makes up 2/3 of the planet. So.
Well, but plankton communities are like huge billions of individual life forms. Billions.
Well, you would always wonder why if you were the most intelligent thing on the planet, you would only use 1/3 of it. It's not even 1/3. It's a little less than that. Whereas the dumb animals seem to get 2/3 of it. What's that about? Well, the dolphins, first off, dolphins walked upright at one time. We know that now because of their fins. They have five toes and 5 fingers. We also know that their brain is 1.5 size the time of size of ours. But more importantly, they have more what the hell you call them? Instincts than we do. They seem to be, whereas they just seem to be. They're at least telepathic.
Which creatures?
Dolphins. They're at least telepathic. Their sonar probably what allows them to be because
their sonar isn't just a communications device. It's also a weapon. That they have a gland up in their forehead that helps them focus that sonar for both navigation and communication. Communication, which we won't pick up with our natural ears. We
and they also know they've been known.
But they also use it to kill sharks. They can focus it as a weapon, and they can burst organs in a shark while they swim underneath of it, and they bump into it. That's when they go and they shoot.
They've also been known to use it to cure cancer in kids. By the way, dolphins kill a lot of cancer over the years. It's
I hadn't heard that.
And that's another weird thing. Dolphins always nice to a child. They've even
There's most people that are nice. I can tell you that much.
You know, and remember, dolphins are the one that we didn't go friend them. They came and friended us. They pulled sailors out of the water and brought them on shore. They friended us. We didn't friend them. No, dogs wolves we domesticated. That's different. Dolphins aren't domesticated. You can't even domesticate a wild dolphin.
How do you train a dolphin?
You know, it's got to be willing. And dolphins have a much larger vocabulary than we do. I think over 1,000 words more.
I hope that was a backfire.
It's one of those things, people. I mean, they're just they walked up right at one time. They were on land and they were in the ocean. They can go anywhere, even in fresh water. They're everywhere on our planet. Everywhere. There's an inland outlet you can find them.
They can go anywhere.
Yeah. And they seem to be intelligent, and they seem to have reached out to man. That denotes intelligence.
There's all kinds of, you call them wives' tales, sailors' tales, whatever you want. But there's so many of them, it can't be dismissed. Stories of both men and women humans having sexual relationships with dolphins. Ongoing relationships, like not like one time hit it and quit it thing, but an ongoing relationship. There's lots and lots and lots of verifiable stories of dolphins saving children that have fallen off a boat, adults that have fallen off a boat, teenagers that have fallen off a boat, people that have gotten lost at sea. They have saved and helped out humans since they enter the animal kingdom records.
Well, Davis, the first thing we ever noticed about dolphins is they started guiding ships through places that were heavy in reefs. They would just come up and get in front of ship, and they would jump sideways, to try to get the ship to move. And one ship, it was funny because one ship sunk, and it noticed the dolphins were doing that, and it started following the dolphins. Dolphins led all three ships out without one of them hitting a rock. Why would they do that? It's not even the first time. It's not even the last time.
Well, not only that, even if humans weren't being hurt, that's their feeding ground. That's how they get. That's where most of the fish are that they live off of, is around the reefs.
They just, for some reason or another, they felt the need to go out of their way to help humans. And there's been enough sailors.
It's kind of the same idea as a farmer on land. I have a farm. You have a farm. My farm is corn. Your farm is cows. But neither one of us are smart enough to put a fence up between our properties, and your goddamn cows keep coming over to my farm, eating my goddamn corn. So eventually, we have to put up, some sort of blockade, and that's probably what the dolphins are doing. They're saying, go this way and stay out of our food areas, and this way you won't crash onto the rocks. It's a twofold beneficial, parasitical, nautical, necessary relationship.
So, therapy with dolphins, how dolphins are healing children. So this is a big thing around the United States. Yeah. They autistic children when are allowed to hang out with dolphins, come out of their shells. A lot of times you'll see the dolphin come up and put its muzzle right up against something cancerous or something on the child, and it fixes it. And don't forget, people, they're way older than we are. Everybody always wants to say, well, we're older than dolphins. No, dolphins are older than us. I think their original ancestry dates back 225 million years.
Let's find out. I have this thing up here called Wikipedia. I don't know if people grumble when they say that, but
Wiki's wiki.
Yeah, the articles that aren't, open for public editing are relatively decent, encyclopedic.
Yeah, dolphin therapy is similar approach to animal-assisted therapy, such as. Well, yeah, I know dogs help too. For some reason, dolphins and they're delicate with our kids. They don't know what these things are.
Well, they have an idea. I mean, they're not. I mean, like we said, they're.
Dolphin sounds helps children heal from cerebral palsy. There's quite a few articles on dolphin healing, actually. Dolphin assisted therapy, dolphin therapy benefits, dolphin handicapped children. Wow. Dolphins help therapy with mental wellness. I don't know, peeps. What can I say? Dolphins got a lot going on. Wisdom of the wild, dolphins healing nature. And there's all kind of places you can go with the dolphins and try to get healed. Huh. See, why do they do? They don't have to do that. They don't, Hell, we've got them in cages and shit, and they're still helping. I mean, you have to stop and wonder about that. This dolphin comes up to this little girl, rubs her nose on it, flips upside down so the girl can start scratching its belly. And dolphins aren't exactly little creatures. They're pretty big in general size.
What would you say? They're probably 500-600 pounds, maybe.
I would say
6 to 7 feet long on average, maybe
6
8
to 7 feet. Yeah, 6 to 7 feet. Probably anywhere from 250 up, depending on the age of the dolphin.
Yeah.
And there's not just one type of dolphin either, guys and girls. There's lots. There's porpoises and bottlenose, and there's all sorts of types of dolphins. Spotted dolphins. There's a lot of different ones. And they live as long as we do, if not or not longer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you're just assuming, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen that comment, that dolphins don't have technology. But we don't know that. We don't know what's at the bottom of the oceans.
We don't, yeah. We're barely able to go down there ourselves.
We don't even know.
Sperm whales are barely able to go down there, but they're able to go down there for, a few minutes at a time, feed on giant squid, and then return to the surface for real air. Does anyone ever notice why, a sperm whale is thinner this way than they are this way? So that they can get through the pressure. And as they go down there, their bodies expand and they eat those squid and they come back up and their bodies squish back down to what they look like.
This thing looked like a giant dog that was walking around on the planet. Then it crawled off into the ocean and slowly but surely became a dolphin.
Let's see it. Put it up. I was trying to find that. I couldn't find it.
Oh, wait. This is a sperm whale.
Oh, well, that's the same idea.
Oh, wait, no, this is the whole thing.
How can the sea creature have come from the land? Well, how can the land creature have come from the sea? Same argument.
Let me, no, the sinus is stop. Okay, where was I? I gotta find, sorry, I had to sneeze there, guys. Let's see. Click. Okay, where are we?
Yeah, I got it on the stage.
Oh, you got it up? Okay, hold on. All right, where is it at now? Oh, it's not on that list. That's why. Okay, put that over there. Put this all the way back over here. Oh, here they are.
Hitting large screen. There you go.
Still here. Oh, yeah, started from scratch. And this is what they think it was. It's like a fucking weasel or something.
Yeah, or an otter.
And then it moves into the water. Then it starts to become a dolphin. And then it becomes a damn ass whale.
Sperm whale.
So they're saying all this is related.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Type in Tursiops truncatus. I'll bet you'll get. Let's see what I get. Tursiops.
A little bit weird. Oh, that's We Are the World for the president. So I hear they're going to put What's-Her-Face in jail, huh? If she shows up over there.
Who?
Greta Thorne.
And who's she going to put in jail?
No, they're going to put her in jail.
Why?
The Greta Thorne. That's the girl who does all of the Greenpeace, whatever she is. She's an activist. She's an activist. Like, you don't know who Greta Thorne is? Shame on you. It's she's deaf. But Israel started dealing with her. Let's see what this shows you. Hold on, let me see what this one is. Let me go find the room again. Is that it, or is this it? I forgot to play that. This must be it. Okay. Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen. Okay.
We got to it at the same time.
Yeah, let's see. I keep forgetting it's not on the same list. Okay. Pop it open all the way. Pop it open all the way. Okay, here we go. Hit play.
Started as a shadow in the waves, a flicker where the ocean behaves, from a creature crawling on the sand to a dancer in a waterland. No chains, no walls, no lies. Just horizons and tides. The illusion of the dolphin. A leap, a splash, a life
That looks like a shark.
from land to sea. The story's spinning.
Yep. Tursiops truncatus. Common bottlenose dolphin.
45 million years it took it to get to here. Now it's got a smile on its face instead of letting me eat you with all them nasty teeth it was showing.
Yeah. He'd rather have sardines, living, swimming sardines.
Yes, it's well, that just shows you how it came around to being. It was a lot of things before it was a dolphin. Oh, so wait, what is this? Are we still up on the screen?
Yeah. Eye opener. Okay. Clever.
All right. Well, do something. Okay. You're not talking because I don't hear anything. Make sure all the audio is on. Everything says it's on audio.
Why? I haven't said a goddamn thing. It's been 10 minutes.
Life is a miraculous journey, and its beginnings are nothing short of astounding. From a single fertilized cell, a complex organism develops, growing and specializing until it takes on its final form. This incredible transformation, known as embryogenesis, is a story of intricate processes, carefully orchestrated to build a living being. And what's truly remarkable is that this story, while unique to each species, shares striking similarities across the animal kingdom, even between seemingly disparate creatures like humans and dolphins. In the warm waters of the ocean and the protective embrace of the womb, two embryos embark on their journey of development. One, destined to swim the vast seas with grace and intelligence, the other to walk upright and shape the world with its thoughts and creations. Though their paths diverge as they mature, their beginnings are strikingly similar, a testament to a shared evolutionary history that binds us together. This essay delves into the captivating world of embryogenesis, comparing the development of dolphins and humans, highlighting the incredible parallels that exist in their earlier stages of life. The journey begins with fertilization, the magical moment when a sperm cell fuses with an egg cell, each carrying half the genetic blueprint needed to create a new life. In both humans and dolphins, this fusion triggers a cascade of events, setting the stage for the incredible journey ahead. The fertilized egg, now a single cell called a zygote, holds within it the potential for life, ready to embark on a remarkable transformation.
Looks like a sperm.
The zygote doesn't
Yeah, I
burst
was going to say, that's not a zygote.
It immediately begins to divide, a process known as cleavage. This rapid cell division is crucial, turning the single-celled zygote into a cluster of cells, all genetically identical. This cluster, resembling a tiny berry, travels down the fallopian tube in humans and through the oviduct in dolphins towards its destination for implantation. Remarkably, even at this early stage, the embryos of both species are strikingly similar, highlighting the universality of these fundamental developmental processes.
Okay, well, that was.
Yeah, well, no shit. He's not really telling us any news that we didn't already know.
I'm thinking that was crap.
Yeah.
Well, no, we got to go in a minute, people, but that was crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boo. Boo, whoever did that. Boo. Well, sometimes you just got to wonder about stuff. I don't know. What are you talking about, Rose? Oh, no, that's a stupid song. Get out of here with this crap. It's, well, who knows? I mean, when you get into this stuff, we don't really know. What do you mean? No, who? I don't know what you're talking about. No, you're on crack, man. Don't make me have you removed from the chat room because you're on crack. So no, that goes back to the whole conversation way time ago. Yeah, sorry, wrong conversation. I don't know what conversation you were talking about, but we're not talking about that anymore. I don't. Well, I don't know why dolphins. Well, a lot of the animals on the planet go through a similar metamorphosis than we do. It's not like it's the only two. And it is weird because in a lot of ways we are similar. I mean, our brains kind of work the same way. They just seem to have more. They just seem to have more brain power than we do. Well, more really.
Hey,
it's not so much brain power. It's just they have more senses than we do. At least two more, maybe three.
Hey, Joe, Sean's back.
Hey, Sean, what's up, babe?
Oh no, my brother fell down a flight of steps.
Oh, damn, man.
I know.
All right.
He's all right. He's okay. Just like 6 steps, he fell down a flight of steps, and
all right.
Honest to God, I thought there was going to be an earthquake and sense around. Honest to God.
We went roller skating today, Sean, and I fell flat on my ass. I mean, real bad. My whole right side is all swollen up.
Okay. The object is to stay on both feet. I was going to say on all 4 feet, but I realized we only have 2.
I'm an expert skater. I haven't been on skates in 10 years.
I'll never. I tried roller skating one time, and I was 15 years old. Fell on my ass, and that was it. Never did it again.
When I was young, we used to roller skate a good bit, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It's
I did it steady for like 20 years.
It's but we used to go. The girls always wanted to go, so I'd go.
Yeah, y'all watch roller derby?
Oh yeah, I had some friends.
Sometimes, but not not regularly.
I had some friends in the roller derby. Now that's different. A couple of our clients were in the roller derby in the apartment complexes we handled. There was a couple of them there.
Oh.
It was funny because one of them had a crush on my son. When actually they had a crush on my son and my steps, and I was always trying to pawn them off. I said, stay here with the roller girls. They're like, no. I said, they won't hurt you unless you ask them to. And
And they
what's
got
her
a
name?
steady job.
What's her name? Goes, well, I don't know about that part, Joe. You know, she called them little men and stuff. Boy, they get pissed.
That's funny.
They would get all pissed off at her and stuff. You can't call me that. She said, well, you're just a little boy. Let me show you how to be a man. they get fucking furious. And they're like, well, what do you got to say? I said, I'm not getting in the middle of this. This ain't my conversation. I'm not into roller girls, so what the fuck? Coming around me is a waste of time, buddy. I'm not
Don't get me involved. I'm married.
I'm like, I ain't got no desire to talk to no roller girls. It's I mean, though I have known a few over the years, that's what's kind of weird. Janine, she was a cook at the Blue Tomato, which actually made a pretty decent hamburger. And I was over there one day, and she was telling me something wrong with her apartment. I said, well, let me call the boss, get it cleared so I can come in your house and do it. And so I called the boss, told him what was going on. He said, no problem. Go over there and take care. He said, how do you know? I said, I was having lunch at the Blue Tomato. He said, oh, you're next door? Because one of his businesses were next door to it. I'm like, yeah. He said, well, let me come catch up with you for lunch right quick. I want to talk to you about something. I'm like, motherfucker. I didn't want to talk to this guy. And so he comes over, we having lunch, and I said, I'm going to send the boys over to take care of it for you. He said, you sending the youngins? I was like, yeah. He said, well, God damn it, Joe, you got to give me some warning so I can get over there first. I'm like, what are you planning on going to get naked or something? She said, well, not totally. I was like, girl, I said, don't hurt my son. She's like, no, it's not going to be like that. I said, girl, I know you. Don't lie to me. Keep that bullshit to somebody who believes you. She's like, no, because both of her and her two roommates were roller girls. And I'd see them come home sometimes. We'd be there after they'd been out all night, all smashed up, face all bruised up and shit. And I'm like, damn, girl, don't you know how to duck? She's like, it's not like that. I said, apparently it is like that, Missy, because you look like somebody that took your head off.
You know the old impolitically correct joke, right? What do you tell a girl that has two black eyes? You can't tell her nothing. You told her twice already.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
They're coming for Jay. What can we say? They're coming for him. It's just a matter of time now.
I didn't coin the phrase, but I do think it's funny.
Ethel, I heard the name Ethel in like 100 years. What's your real name, Ethel? Well, nice to meet you, Ethel. Oh, you play roller derby? You played until you were 40? Damn, girl, go girl. Oh, you were intimidating to a lot of men. I can see that. I could see that.
I ordered to send a picture.
Send a picture. Send one. You can send it on Pal Talk. I can send it over to the room. You're not dressed. Oh, wait a minute now.
Yeah, that we can't show.
Okay, it's not that. I mean, you might be skanky ugly. Don't send those skanky ugly girl pictures over. I will get offended and be mean to you. So you don't want to go there. Trust me.
Well,
you know, I can be an ass. So you just better not. You don't show me. No, these three girls liked it. They had a good time. They'd go out. They were in their late 20s to mid 30s, and they'd go roller derby and all the time. They played for two different teams, but they had a good time. Oh yeah, I'm telling you. Sometimes I'd see them look like somebody beat the living shit out of them. And the one girl, her boyfriend he was a big old biker guy. He was scared of both of them. He said, "Man, I don't like living with these two bitches." And the third one lives next door. He said, "I'm not sure I like this." I was laughing. So what's the matter?
Wow, we were off.
He said,
mass. This is their mass. This is their weight. Anywhere from 330 pounds to 1,400 pounds as an adult.
Damn.
Somewhere between 6'6" and 13 feet long as an adult.
Who's that?
They were telling you dolphins. That's got to be
dolphins. Common bottlenose dolphins. Tertius truncatus.
Damn.
Hey, dude.
I've never seen
a
one.
Big motherfucker. So 13 feet long. That's like a Bigfoot.
No wonder sharks don't want to fuck with them. Damn.
Yeah.
No, Jeannie, sharks don't like messing with dolphins. They will attack them if they're hungry, and only if there's one dolphin. If there's multiple dolphins, even a big great white will go the other way because they're not fast enough, and they can hit them. What they do is they start hitting them in the gills and suffocating them to death.
Well, they also hit from underneath and use their sonar to burst organs.
Yeah, they can do that too. So they might be doing a comment, especially if it's more than one dolphin.
Yeah.
It's wow. What do I know about that? It's well, dolphins are cool animals. They
basically have the equivalency of a biological sonic disruptor in their brain that they can focus and burst organs of other creatures. The way we do with kidney stones, they use the same technology biologically and burst their enemies' organs. That's badass.
Yeah, there it goes. I love you, Jay, but there you go into that doomsday stuff again. Man,
you can't help.
How was that doomsday? That's how that biological creature actually works.
He can't help it if dolphins are evil. All right, maybe not evil, but somewhere along those lines, messed up in the head or something.
Whether they're evil or good is a matter of perspective, and on my side, as far as I'm concerned, they're good. So either we're both evil or we're both good. You all decide.
Why don't I see one for these people? Okay. Well, what the hell? Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. I was looking for an archive and I couldn't find it for a minute. Broussard Gillis. Where I know that name from? Oh, you was one of the ghosts. I remember you. Oh, I do. Yes, I dated a girl that used to that dated the president of Gooses. Yeah, I did. That was a long time ago, dude. So don't get all upset with yourself. There was a biker gang down here called the Gooses, and they were pretty badass until another group came in and ran them out of town. I don't know who that group was came in and ran you boys out of town, but they came and ran them out of town. And see, we have rules down here. Anything more than 3 people is considered a gang, and you can go to jail for gang violence if there's more than 3 or 2. Actually, more than 2 of you. So yeah, bikers pretty much became a thing of the past. Plus, the sheriff that was around when all that was going on was Harry Lee, and he was a dick from hell. He didn't care what the law was. You're going to get out of his town. That was all there was to it. He didn't like you. You were out of here. No, Jack, that's how he was. I mean, anybody, if you're from the Gooses, you know that Harry Lee was a fucking asshole. His granddaughter is one of the parish presidents now. What can I say? She's an asshole too. No, really. I mean, she's mean as shit. I don't live there anymore, so I don't care what she is. But I didn't like messing around with her rules. She had a lot of rules for the town, and New Orleans is not a town that does good with rules. It's too laid back to have too many rules. If you get too many, it gets a little crazy. People start getting stupid and shit. Like, a rule? We're not doing that. Who do you think you are telling us what to do? I mean, really, that's how it gets. And the town's like, you're not going to tell us. We don't give a shit who you are.
Well, Savannah, a good example. Like I said, it's very similar as far as atmosphere goes, as it being a party town. If you and most people that do this are visitors, not locals, but particularly during St. Patrick's Day, but it's not just during then, all year round. If you pee in public and get caught, mandatory fine is a year in jail and $1,000 fine.
Yeah, that's where it should be.
Yeah, it's messed up. You got to go. Or you get inside and pee in the toilet somewhere, or they're going to get you.
They had gotten to the point after a while where, look, don't do anything in public. You were going to get in trouble for it, which really is good. I mean, especially if you got kids. It's people forget sometimes that they're not the only people on the planet.
Yeah.
I watched this guy today. He went into a men's bathroom, I think in LA somewhere, that was full of tampons. He went crazy. He went crazy throwing the tampons in the garbage. The shit. It was funny as hell, man. I was like, dude, you're gonna get in trouble.
Was like a transgender dude, or what kind of dude? Why is it?
No, he was just a straight guy going into a straight bathroom, and when he got in the bathroom, there was on the right.
Men's bathroom?
Men's bathroom.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part. He went to a men's bathroom where they had tampons.
Yeah. Well, you
Why
know
do you
that's how
put-
it is in Michigan.
Why
or
do you put
Minnesota, wherever.
tampons in a men's bathroom?
I don't know. You have to ask Tampon Tim about that, but that's because the transgenders go in there. Okay, well, I hate to say this, but men don't need tampons.
No, they don't. No.
You can transgender me all you want, but you're getting a tampon. You're not a man. You're still a girl. I don't care if you dress like a man. It does. Look, people, dressing like a man don't make you a man. Dressing like a girl don't make you a girl. I'm
Two
not
questions
saying
I don't
you
want to know the answer to. Why do they need tampons? Where are they sticking them, and who's giving them this advice? And how can we stop it? I mean, that makes no sense at all.
It's about stupid is what it is. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me play this right quick. This is for our Halloween friends. Let me play this right quick. Well, we got to go in like 4 minutes, people. So we should have already been going. Sean's probably
Should have been
going
going like 34 minutes ago.
Sean's like, what the hell's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, that's okay because I'm going at 11 minutes. Well,
Yeah, we're
11
going
o'clock.
4 minutes, so it don't really matter. But I got to play this right quick though before we leave.
Okay, so don't forget the balloon bucket. Yeah, you pick it up. And then
Sounds like something out of a 50s sci-fi, I swear.
sure does. Was it the Sons of Uranus or Saturn? It's Saturn, I guess.
So I always thought you couldn't have sound in space because it was a vacuum.
Not sound, it's radio frequency. Sound is carried along the frequency that either from the rings or from the planet. The one thing we have found is everything floating around in space has a radio signal like this.
Oh yeah, they all do. Jupiter sounds horrible.
Yeah. Jupiter will scare the limits. They use Jupiter for like Halloween stuff, murder mystery.
No wonder if this is going to change when these rings are gone. It's hard to believe all these rings are going to be gone. Look at the moons just going around. This
In
and
the
this.
shadow of the moon, yeah. Come on, flat earthers, tell me this is round. This is flat, not round.
That's aliens talking to us.
Or somebody messing with the condenser mic, scratching their finger along the metal screen.
That's Jupiter's moon. I mean, Saturn's moon's talking to Saturn. And there goes one right there. It's almost like it's planet. Look at the ripples on his moon.
Didn't they find that whale song in right whales or whatever the song hourly it matches either the radio frequency of either Saturn or Jupiter? Anybody hear about that?
No, not at all.
I heard about that.
Well, people,
Who's
it's
this
all
boiled
good.
farm boy person, huh?
When Verizon gives
It's all good. It's all good to Saturn and freak out. But we gotta go because we're gonna cut into Sean's time by like a half an hour now. Well, whatever time it is.
An hour.
He's having. We're gonna just say that Sean said it was okay. So since his name is Sean, I'm thinking it works for me. No, Jack, we got to go. No, really, it's 1 minute. What you got? I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
What did he ask?
All I know is Space Command has been given the charge of all space operations in the United States, whether it's Navy,
I believe their jurisdiction is the
Army,
entire solar system, actually.
whether it's the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, DARPA, none of it matters. They all work for Space Command now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And they're being moved from where they are now to Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama. Come to find out, that's been in the works since Trump's first presidency, and it's been taking this long to get it going.
Well, COVID
Mm.
got in the way
So
of that idea.
anyway, so we'll be, but still, we had 4 years of Biden. He should have been able to get it done. He just didn't want to. Yeah, it'll be in Huntsville, Alabama. That will be what do they call it? Rocket City. That's what it's going to be called. It's Rocket City. Yes. Yes. Anyway, we got to go. I want to tell everyone thanks for hanging out and listening to the chat. You've been listening to us on United Public Radio. Yes. What do you mean? Who's pregnant? No, nobody's pregnant right now. Anyway, we're out of here. Thanks again for listening to United Public Radio and the chat. If you have any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, please write to Michelle DeRoche. She loves to hear that kind of stuff. She thinks y'all people are the nicest when y'all write to her. So be sure to write to her. Anything important, yeah, write to her too. So what do you mean, why can't you write to me? Why you want to write to me? I don't know if I want to give out my email.
If you want to get an angry request back or an angry email back, don't send it to any one of us three.
What do you want my email address for? Actually, I'm sending out emails this week for guest people. What do you want? Oh, for that? Well, I'll tell you what you do. Go onto my Facebook page and message me on Messenger, and I'll send you my email address. I'm not putting it out on the damn internet. No. It's been on the internet enough. It's a pain in the ass as it is. It's 6,000 emails a day. It's stupid. You know, I got it down to about 3,800 right now. I went through and took a bunch of stuff out.
All it takes is one person to take your email and put it into one of those stupid things. You want to sign up for, so-and-so coupons for life. And then you get, bombarded with spam mail the rest of that email's lifespan.
Yeah. So on that note, again, thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and the chat. And we will see y'all. I won't see y'all till Wednesday.
You'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah, Sean does his striptease on Sunday, so that's all.
Brass pole, ladies.
And I think that the whistle show comes on after Sean.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, 9:10.
Yeah, so he comes on he used to be the opening show. So with the Navajo host, he used to be the opening show. He's now the closing show. So just want to let everybody know about that. And on that note, good night, and go back and listen to Sean. I'm sure he's over there cutting up, getting in all kind of trouble. Good night, everybody.
He's probably saying bad things